24-23 after you're trailing 20-0 when you come back. You've played in some big games, Aaron. How do you put this one into words?
Well, it's hard to, it is. But it's the Bear-Packer rivalry. So it would have had to take something really catastrophic injury-wise to keep me off the field in the second half. You know, I went in the locker room, did all the tests, and then I was in our indoor facility trying to get it loosened up. But I knew once I got back on the field and adrenaline started going, I'd be able to hang in there.
What was the injury?
On my knee.
Hey kids, football's coming back. Let me hear you sing hooray. For 32 brave teams, it's an awesome brand new day. Let's root for the rookies
and see who picks up Dez.
And love all the crazy crap
that Jalen Ramsey says.
Kids, here's something else that's really, really cool. The league just came up with a flawless new catch rule. It makes perfect sense, and the owners all approve. They do. A catch is a catch, my friend, if there's a football move.
What's a football move?
Kids, let her know.
It means a third step or reach, extending for the line to gain, or having the ability to do so. Great, so that's clear now.
Hey, wasn't there another new rule this season? Something about the helmet?
No. Question corners later. Hey, kids, it's puppet time. Say hello to the Dusk Buddies.
We're the Dusk Buddies.
What is going on, everybody? Your boys are back in the picked last Palladium. Did we change it? Is it still Palladium?
It was a Sweater Dome, but it's
Sweater Dome.
It was getting cold outside,
yeah.
So.
Well, it was like cool out, but I was like, I'm still gonna put the air on.
Smart.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So
Brian's still wearing long sleeve shirt.
Today it is the picked last Palladium.
That's right.
We are here, and week 1 is officially in the books.
Some might say it's almost week 2.
Some might say it's almost tomorrow.
It is.
So, starting off right across from me,
we got Brian over here.
And right next to Brian,
it's me. It's Mikey.
Hello, demons. It's your boy,
Mikey. And of course,
hello, burritos. It's me, your boy.
It is me, the Rocket, Andrew Parker. I'm bringing it back.
Come on. Yeah,
if football ever happens again.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna happen.
I'm still the Rocket.
I have one person who wants to play with us, and I might have a second one that also works with us that want to play with us. So
fine.
Let's get it going whenever we go.
Yeah. We've at the point where we've just stopped even making statuses.
Well, no, I told you guys the 23rd is the best time to start because we won't be a million fucking degrees outside, and it won't be a million negative degrees outside.
Well, I'm there.
Yeah.
All right. So, week 1 is in the books.
Week 1.
How'd you guys do in fantasy? Let's talk a little fantasy.
Little fantasy upkeep.
3-0. 3 teams, all winners.
Mikey plays in a league of either dumb people or fourth graders.
You're in one league that's 6 people or something.
Yeah, that's not even a league.
My work league was one night. He was like, "Yo, let's make a team. Let's make a league. Let's make a league." So we sent an email to everybody, and by the time the draft came, only 6 people showed up.
You could just have the draft the next week.
No, it was on Wednesday, right before the Thursday night game.
Still, I'm saying, you could just have it week 2.
People know they can auto draft, right?
Right, yeah.
This is true.
That's
but they didn't, so we got stuck with the 16 league. It's actually kind of fun because everybody's got an elite. It is because everybody has an elite team, and it's who's gonna outshoot who this week.
At that point, you guys should just join the same league daily.
Yeah.
Fantasy league.
Hey, we have fun with it. We have fun.
You have fun with it week 1.
Hashtag we have fun.
At that point, you should have just had a kickers only league. Everyone takes one kicker and see how they do each week.
That actually sounds more challenging than the fucking pick a Hall of Fame team.
Yeah. Take whichever all-star quarterback you want. Yeah. Take 2 all-star running. Come on. Oh no, my guy got injured. There's only 500 people on the waiver wire.
I don't know who to pick up on this waiver wire.
I think I'd have more trouble figuring out if there's an all-star on the waiver wire that I just want to pick up
also,
instead of the all-star on my team.
After you draft and then you drop somebody, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna see who the best.
I want to know your team in that 6-man league.
All right, hold on. All right, so my team in this
I have Brandon Marshall. What?
I have Cam Newton. I have Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, Kamara. Sorry, Christian McCaffrey. I had Delaney Walker, but he got hurt, so I have Njoku from from Cleveland, and I have Adam Thielen. I have Minnesota's defense and Justin Tucker.
Well,
and I also have
that is
Demaryius
oddly
Thomas.
mediocre for
for a
six-man
six-man
team.
league. Yeah.
That's pretty modest of you.
I mean, I'm telling you.
I didn't want to run away with it.
Well, you know, when everybody's picking in the middle.
So 3 teams, all winners, huh?
3 teams, all winners. Blowouts.
Really?
Absolute blowouts.
I would have loved it if there's like a defensive struggle.
Yeah.
So I have my one game I won by a little bit less than 100 points. I won 184 to 89. Another league I had, the 16 league I had, I won 158 to 130. And my steady team that I always play, the league I play in every year, I won 218 to 166.
Well, have I told you a story about Brian's roller coaster of emotions?
Oh, yes.
That happened last week?
I was totally there for that.
For those that don't know, Brian wanted out of fantasy this year.
I was burnt out.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
which is completely reasonable.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do it. We had a guy in our league, the draft was the next night, who did not pay the money and didn't even sign up. If he had signed up and not paid whatever, get it when
that's
you
what
can.
happens. Yeah.
We hit up our backup, who kept saying, well, if someone drops, let me get in there. He was like, maybe next year, bro. Can't do it. Mm-hmm. We're freaking out because if this guy doesn't do it, we have 11 teams, and we got to kick the other most recent guy, Donato, who we didn't want to kick.
Nope.
So I threw a Hail Mary to Brian, and I was like, listen, dude, we need an extra guy. I know you don't want to do it this year. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. It's whatever.
And like the hero I am, the selfless martyr that I have to
You
be.
left the league that I'm in with you.
Yeah, that
he
league
said-
sucks. I couldn't deal with that league.
The only thing Brian said was, send me the link.
Yeah.
In like a true hero-like fashion. I was like, oh, bro, you just saved it. We're still.
And just like that, every link that was sent to me was broken or didn't it didn't work.
Classic.
So I kept for like 2 hours. I kept on telling Edgar, the guy who runs the league, I'm like, just send me the link again. Just send me the link. I go, all right, this is what works. Bump the teams up to 13, and when I sign up, cap it at 12. So like, you think it's gonna work? Like, just do it, because it works for me all the time on baseball. Okay, so he does it. Like, all right, there we go. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, you had the first injury to your team this week.
First injury was Delaney Walker, in
Yeah.
which he, I guess, disintegrated his ankle bone.
Totally out for the season,
Gone.
unfortunately.
Yep.
And
then the
Up
nightcap
and down roller cap.
the nightcap, which was very fun because I was sitting out at work behind a desk where every football update took about 2 to 5 minutes to get refreshed. I had Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback, so when he goes down, I'm like, "Why is he at? What's this? Carted off the field. What's this?" I'm like, "Oh!" And I start saying,
you freaked out on me.
I freaked
and you're
out.
like, "Oh, thanks, Andrew, for fucking making me do fantasy again this year. There's $100 out the fucking window."
Yep.
I was like, "Listen, man, I just asked you. You agreed. Like, what do you want from me?"
I was
And then I was
acting
like,
like a true gentleman of the game,
like a hero.
like a hero that I am.
And then I go, "Bri, he's back on the field." And Brian's like, "What?"
Yeah,
Like, excuse, I think
because I was.
you were at work, right?
I was at work.
Yeah,
I was working
You were
till
like,
midnight.
"Excuse me?"
Well,
I
you
was
said he's throwing on the sideline.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't watching the game at that point, but I turned the game on when I saw that. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh boy!"
Yeah, and then I took over the. I was able to get a better stream of the game at work, so I started tweeting, and I was like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is coming back in the game. They're about to beat the Bears." And I'm like, you can check the Pick Last Twitter. The receipts are there. I called it from the start.
And so the game plays out. We'll get to game recaps later on. But I text Brian on my fucking high horse, and I'm like, "Yeah, Brian, whenever you want to thank me for getting you back in fantasy, you let me know, man."
Yeah.
So
and I also told you after I drafted, like, this is probably the league I'm gonna win.
Yeah, you were like, "This is the year I win it all,"
Because I don't
didn't
compare. Because I'm done.
I myself am back in my mid-season form. My MO in fantasy football is that I always have a great week, but I play someone who has the best week of the year. I put up a respectable 142 points. Love my starting lineup. This fucking guy I played put up like 170.
Oh, Jesus.
And
who do you have on this team?
He's literally he scored the most points. He's in first place in the league. 1 second, I will look up the matchup.
Well,
I have my roster is Kirk Cousins, Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon, Jay Ajayi, Evan Ingram, Robert Woods, Prater, and Denver's defense.
That's a good That's a good team.
Yeah, it's an all put together
solid
team.
squad.
The first 5 guys put up 20 points. I was like, I'm looking great. He had Russell Wilson put up 29 points, Julio Jones put up 31 points, Larry Fitzgerald 14, Melvin Gordon 28, Isaiah Crowell 24, Zach Ertz 9.8, Corey Davis 12.2, Gostkowski 9, and Minnesota's defense.
Damn it.
So he put up 176. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. What's even more demoralizing is we had a game in our league where a guy won 99-98.
Oh God.
So the standings are split in half of the losing teams and the winning teams. So I'm in the loser bracket in 7th, 0-1 for 142 points, and right above me is 1-0, 99 points. I'm just like, fuck this. I hate fantasy.
See, that's why I wanted to get out.
Thanks a lot, Brian, for making me.
My stack team.
You should have quit. Like me.
Should have been a quitter.
My stack team has Aaron Rodgers and Keenan Allen who put up 50 points together.
Yeah.
And then I have Tyreek Hill and Kamara who put up 42 points respectively.
How many players in this league?
10. There's a 10.
So how is your 10-man team better than your 6-team league?
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah, this team is. If I don't win a championship with this team, I don't know what a championship is.
Well, because it's just human error then.
You guys, any big changes you're making this week to your rosters?
I had to pick up I picked up Washington's defense.
Okay.
I dropped Pittsburgh's defense because I wasn't too thrilled with them tying the fucking Browns.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into. I picked up Eric Ebron as a backup tight end. And I also just put a flyer in for Sam Darnold just in case Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, because with that they're saying he's week to week, I think, or day to day, week to week.
He has a knee sprain. So.
Yeah, the guy was higher than a fucking kite in that post interview.
Oh my god,
he was fucking.
He was Captain Valium.
Yeah, he was using an accent he doesn't speak in.
Huh?
It was like some weird Southern accent. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's from California.
Yeah.
Well, we're just playing football out there.
I do like the Eric Ebron pickup. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him this year.
If he's a wide receiver, he's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, the reason I didn't draft him was because I wasn't sure with him and Jack Doyle if they were going to eat into each other's points, because then nobody wins. I was waiting to see if one emerged.
If you look
it
at
looks like he's going to emerge.
The 4 big targets for Andrew Luck, well, was it Doyle, Ebron, Ryan Grant, and T.Y. Hilton all had good games.
Yeah.
But they lost.
Yeah, and that was because one of my big things I love in the first waiver Wednesday of the week is I try to see what big players underperformed.
Right.
And if I want to try to make a trade to poach somebody, or you really peep the waivers because someone might be like, oh, Shitty McCoy had a shitty week or something.
There's always that one guy who's ready to fucking pack it in after week 1.
Exactly.
Yep.
One of the guys I was gonna target was Ty, because he put up 15, but he was projected higher, and but Nick has him, and it was his main receiver.
Oh, yeah.
My main trading pieces were probably gonna be. I was looking to maybe do a package like Robert Woods, David Njoku for a Ty.
That might be too much to give up.
Yeah, but I figured you gotta entice somebody. And
here's the thing about Robert Woods.
He's gonna be boom or bust.
No, he started late last year, so it's kind of a sit and wait on him. Because Cooper Kupp was hot early on. First 3 games for the Rams last year, Cooper Kupp was the guy.
And I think their receptions in week 1 were 8-9-9. It was evenly split between every receiver.
So you just gotta let them roll.
And like I said, he's my flex.
Yeah.
I have Antonio Brown and Devontae Adams.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
So it was one of those things I was looking at, but I didn't send the trade. It was not worth it.
Don't worry, Andrew. You'll be eating soon.
Yeah.
You'll be eating.
Oh yeah.
You'll be whatever
doing that.
Beating your girlfriend up. I don't know what it is.
So yeah, no, I didn't like any of the things. The only move I made on for waivers was I dropped Matt Prater, and I picked up Caleb Sturgis.
Sturgis. Okay.
I plan on streaming defenses and kickers this year.
Same here.
And Caleb Sturgis, anyone that's playing the Bills is really the matchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have Denver's defense going against the Raiders, so I kept them this week because I like that matchup, and I picked up Sturgis.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "Oh, you're bugging." Matt Prater is the best, one of the best legs in the league. I was like, "Yeah, but I don't like the Lions this year."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna have to depend on him to be kicking 50, 60 yards.
You don't get points for punts. You get points for field goals.
Exactly.
And they're gonna be punted a lot.
So I'd rather try to stream against who's playing the Bills and
Shout out to
hopefully
Pat
get a lot of
McCaffrey.
extra points.
For the brand.
Mikey, any moves this week?
Honestly, I have Walker in 2 leagues, so just replacing him.
Yeah.
I have 2 tight end. I have a tight end on my bench that I can replace him with, who's like a low end tight end 1, possibly tight end 2. The guy from the Browns. I have the guy from the Browns. Yeah.
You don't have Lev Bell on any teams, do you?
No.
Okay.
No, I stayed away from him.
Well, news if anyone does listening, he's eligible to be placed on the IR.
Huh.
They're allowing that.
Nice.
Both ESPN and Yahoo.
Nice.
So you can keep on the IR, you can pick someone else and until that plays out.
Speaking of Lev Bell, what do you guys think of his fucking offensive lineman talking some shit?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I think it's bullshit.
Fucking
and
rats.
everybody at work that like I'm friends with, they were like talking about like I would too. They want to win. I mean, even what's his name? Earl Thomas. Came back for the Seahawks just so he could play because he didn't want to let down his team. It's like, yeah, and I made up the point to them. I was like, look, you say you're Le'Veon Bell, right? And on paper, according to everybody, you're, if not the best running back in the league, in the top 2 of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah.
You're on the same team as one of the highest paid and on paper the best wide receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting paid close to what he's getting paid, then yeah, I'd be upset too, and I'd be fighting for money as well.
Also, the workload between a wide receiver and a cornerback
Totally
is
different.
totally different. Like,
Totally different.
A cornerback doesn't have to be running to the ground. Like, he's on defense just constantly getting the line.
Let me put it in like a layman's terms. Let's take us for example. We work maintenance, right?
Yep.
Let's say I just got offered a construction gig. I'm going to be making like $5 more an hour, whatever the hell it is. I'm going to be on a salary. Let's say I start in 2 weeks. Now my job's pissed at me because they know I'm leaving,
right?
And they want to start making me do like crazy physical labor at this job for the next 2 weeks, and try to and maybe like fuck me up, and then
they're gonna burn you to the ground.
Exactly.
That's when you just leave that
Would
job.
my coworkers be fucking mad at me for
No.
if I take some sick time and be like, well, I guess I'm gonna use this up and ride it out because they're trying to injure me, but you know what I mean? Like
the thing,
he's trying to get his money.
Yeah.
And protect himself.
There's been a lot of former players that now are in the booth or on the desk. They go, there's one rule in the locker room is you don't talk about a man and his money.
Exactly.
You don't speak against him because you know what? He won't speak against you when you're trying for yours. He's gonna support you, and because of Lev Bell, the Pittsburgh offensive line has probably gotten paid pretty well, even though they're pretty shit. I mean, look at poor Ben Roethlisberger. He's like a crippled old man.
Yeah.
Like Lev Bell has made that team successful. I
true.
think what Maurice Pouncey and the guy, and also one of the guys who spoke out against Lev Bell is a union rep, so he's a fucking skunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I kind of want to change my pick on the Steelers because I'm so morally against them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree
union
with
strong. What do you out? Like, this is why the NFL Players Union is the weakest in all of professional sports.
Yeah.
Because they're all out for themselves.
They're put to shame by every other sport.
Now let me ask you, him continuing to not play.
Right.
Let's say he goes the full 10 weeks.
Okay.
Do you think he's hurting his money?
No.
You don't,
not
think,
at all.
you don't think another team is being like, well, I don't want to deal with that.
Well,
No,
all
'cause if they
another
pay
team
him-
has to do is just pay him.
Yeah.
That's all the team has to
Yeah,
do.
no,
And
getting-
and
I'm
he'll
saying,
play his
like,
ass
you don't think
off.
he's hurting
No.
his
No, because they're getting
contract?
a fresh back. He's not going to be and depending on their record, like if they're bad or they keep continuing to tie
Mhm.
and they don't make the playoffs and he comes back, he's going to get a good workload. They say he's only going to get 300 touches by the end of the season if he comes in week 10.
Yeah.
And like if he comes back week 5, he's going to have 600.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have a back coming off 300. It's like getting a running back like off an arm injury. Like David Johnson, like, oh, he hurt his wrist, but he's coming back next year. Like, I'm pretty pumped about that because there's nothing structurally wrong with him, just a wrist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what you were saying with if you're working the job and then you take time off and stuff like that, and then you come back and they want to work you to the ground, that's when you have the ability to walk away. Like, you do that out of respect to fill out your 2 weeks, let them find a new job, new hire,
Exactly.
and transition
well. That's not on you.
That's
Exactly.
not on you. So once you
And
put
that's
in,
what I'm saying is like
it's a
if
courtesy.
if people would look at you as in that situation, but as a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
no.
then no.
Yeah.
You're saving yourself for the money,
Mhm.
and you're not gonna bust your ass getting fucking franchise tagged twice.
Yeah.
It's unfair to somebody
They're
with the
doing
workload
it. They're
like
doing
him.
to him what the Redskins were doing to Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, we're not
Except
committal,
Kirk
but we're
Cousins,
going to keep dragging this along.
Except Kirk Cousins isn't as...
You can't run a quarterback into dust.
Yeah.
That's
what
I'm saying.
All right, quarterback option, run it, Kirk.
Yeah, but like
No.
contractually, they're doing the same thing.
exactly.
I keep franchise tagging them.
Yeah, they commit to him or don't. Shit or get off the pot.
But it's also one of those things where I find that Kirk Cousins is almost easily replaceable. I feel like Le'Veon Bell is such a highly skilled running back.
So you're saying there's more Kirk Cousins than there are Le'Veon Bell?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, no,
because they got Alex Smith, who's a lot better.
Well, but Kirk Cousins also like he's middle of the road quarterback.
Say that to Ziggy Wolf, who just gave him $84 million guaranteed.
I don't know. I'm starting
He's in the middle of the road.
I'm not even because I have him on fantasy. I honestly took him in fantasy because I am high on him.
Right.
I don't think it was him that was mediocre. I think it was the Redskins.
Yeah. No, he's a product of the system he came in.
Yeah. He made some great throws last week.
Oh yeah.
He was slinging it.
He's a professional quarterback, and there's enough professional quarterbacks out there. That's why like Mike Glennon got like 12 guaranteed. That's why like fucking AJ McCarron got money.
The fact that Mike Glennon is out here making money like that is insane.
That's like someone's stealing. Like the Redskins can easily, like if Alex Smith plays 1 year or 2 years with the Redskins, and they go like, all right, man, this is what we're gonna do, and then until they find the quarterback of their future. That's fine. It's like they prepare. That's why there's a draft every year.
Yeah.
But speaking of that,
you know what quarterback I wish I was? Matt Cassell.
Matt Castle?
Castle. Whatever his name is. I wish I was him.
Why?
Just making money, sitting on the bench, and then coming in maybe once a year, maybe. Like, just like hanging out, making a ton of money, not really having to put up numbers, just like hanging out next to Aaron Rodgers, making...
Well, he's hanging out next to fucking Matthew Stafford right now.
You know what was weird today? This won't make sense to anybody listening, but to you guys. You know Ray at work. Do you know Ray? That was the handyman.
Yeah.
He was from leaving work today. He had a Broncos jersey on.
Kyle Orton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck does he have a Kyle Orton jersey in 2018? What the fuck is wearing that?
I bust his shit all the time about the jerseys he's wearing. Because he has like an Archie Manning jersey, a fucking... he has a Peyton Manning jersey, I think, from the Colts, and then he has a Kyle Orton jersey. I'm like, why are you downgrading? Like, each week you downgrade.
I like how he supports Archie and Peyton, but not Eli.
And then Kyle Orton.
He's a Frank Gore jersey. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Pick a fucking lane.
He's got very weird jerseys.
That's like if I go in 1 week wearing a Phil Simms jersey, and the next week I'm coming in wearing a fucking like Danny Cannell jersey.
I think he also, I don't know if he still wears it, but I think he also has a Phillip Rivers jersey as well.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think I've seen him wear a Phillip Rivers jersey.
Maybe.
At least once or twice when I used to work there.
Huh.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Season's still young. Speaking of the young season, let's get into a bit of a recap, boys.
Let's do it.
We've been kind of dancing around it, not going deep into it, but let's take our pants off and just dive right in.
Just take our pants off and just force ourselves to go right in.
Just like Ben Roethlisberger in a Georgia nightclub.
Yeah, if you need a drink, Mike, you
You
go
just
get a
say
drink.
it.
I didn't want to fucking interrupt him.
This isn't a professional podcast. We're not
Yeah,
getting
what
paid
are
for
you
this.
doing? Yeah, it's not like you should have came prepared and
Jesus.
maybe gotten a drink before we started the recording.
It's not like you drove here. Your mom drove here.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? Do you want to
Let's start off with the Thursday night.
You want to go
debacle.
Thursday night game?
Thursday night
That
debacle.
stinker.
Oh,
That went against everything that you said before.
what?
He said start with our teams.
No, you know what? Fuck it. We'll get to our teams. We'll
let
get
it
to our
ride.
teams. Yeah. It's gonna be like a 5-hour long show, so let's just get used to it.
Let it ride.
This just felt like another blue balls moment that like you feel in preseason week 1 where you're like, football's back.
Yep.
And then you're just kind of like, is it? Like,
exactly.
Is it back?
Yeah.
It's a.
Like, what is this?
I think I hate going back to saying like I tweeted this, but I think I said it. It's like, you know, we complain about week 1 being a shitty week, because like we think like, oh, teams are bad or this is bad, but by week 4 we'd be like, yeah, we're ready, we're back in it.
Yeah.
Like this is extended preseason.
See, I don't think week 1 is overly bad.
Mm.
I think week 1 Thursday game is bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like teams are used to playing on Sunday.
Mm.
Like Sunday is football.
Yeah.
So when you have to start week 1 coming out of preseason on Thursday night, I feel like it's like it throws you off. There's a difference between playing on a Thursday night in like mid-season when you're in mid-season form and opening cold on Thursday night. It just doesn't correlate well. I think they should get rid of the Week 1 Thursday game. Start Week 2.
Yeah.
Week 1 should start that Sunday, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with you. You
So
could
Thursday.
Because they had that extra fucking
It used to be
4 o'clock
Thursday. It
opening
used to be
games.
Thursday night. Oh, you could do a Saturday night game.
Yeah, do like an
No.
opening Saturday night
Yeah.
game.
That mixes with
Well, in college. Yeah, they don't
Who
like...
gives a fuck about college?
They do. I don't.
College does.
College is just the minor leagues of the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll honestly do whatever the NFL will
I
say.
wish there was a minor leagues of NFL.
I don't think it would
The
work.
XFL is coming.
Yeah.
And
It would-
Jameis Winston's
no,
going to be
no.
the fucking star.
That's gonna be
Johnny Manziel and Jameis Winston.
the NFL of NFL.
Did you see what they tweeted something today that actually made me think this could be cool.
What's that?
They said something like, "Oh, if we were to make an XFL video game, what would you want to see it on?" And not that I'm overly excited for an XFL video game, but I was thinking, if this league becomes like mildly successful, how cool would it be if like 2K were to say, well, if we can't have the NFL license, we'll at least make a cool fucking football game using this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I would get excited if 2K didn't make trash NFL games way back when.
Yeah.
They never made good games back then.
Well, no.
It was not good.
Wait. Was that which one was the one that had the really good fucking thing where in your franchise they would have like the football recaps and it would be like Sports Center.
I think it was like ESPN did.
Oh yeah, it was 2K. It was ESPN. 2K,
Yeah, like that.
And
that
NFL. Yeah.
That is football's no mercy.
Right.
Like that is the football game people cling
Was
to.
it was like NFL. Was it
Go on the Madden subreddit.
Was it 2K,
Go on
was
the
it
Madden
2K4?
subreddit. That's all people cling to.
Was it
They're
like-
like, why the fuck was this in a game in 2004 and we can't have this now?
That was actually a really good game. That was
Well,
solid
see,
graphics
I
for
think that
PS2.
it was a cool thing to have, but the game overall was like really glitchy.
Nah, I
it
remember
wasn't
being smooth.
Dude,
Like GoldenEye.
I'm just
N64
saying,
Colts.
I see what they do modern day for NBA. They could do that for football if they could get,
Yes.
like, if the XFL becomes mildly successful
They
and they
can
can
make-
get the license.
They can
get
make
to do that.
XFL Street, and we could finally shut up about
Oh
it.
my god, that would be so dope.
Oh, Brian, don't make me get you showing. So,
Don't make you come like how Chris Collinsworth says RPO or Philly Special.
that's
That's the biggest highlight of the
Brian,
game.
perfect way to bring it back around.
Yeah, thank
because
you.
holy shit, that I not want to hear that phrase anymore.
Which one?
RPO.
RPO
Oh,
more.
run play.
Yeah.
Run pass option.
Here's a guy that loves running the RPO. Shut up.
Oh, this is an RPO state. Like, no, Chris, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's a run.
It's a play action.
It's an option.
It's a quarterback option.
You could run it, or you could throw it, or you could run it. Shut up.
I think Foles looked how I expected Foles to look
Not good.
because he's not that team's not riding the momentum they were when he stepped in. They're cold now.
Yeah.
I believe I heard
They had
today.
a delay too, which killed a lot of momentum.
Yeah. Falcons look god awful in the red zone.
I forgot who.
They're allergic to it.
Their fans are already calling for the offensive coordinator's head.
Sarkisian.
Steve, the screwdriver Sarkisian.
My buddy Baki, diehard Falcons fan.
Yeah.
I was texting him while the game was on,
and
and
I
he's
bet it
like,
was nice. Like, your team sucks.
No, because I root for the Falcons if they're playing because of him. But I'm saying like you guys need to do something about your offensive coordinator. And he's like, dude, this guy's trash. He's like, once we got rid of Shanahan, everything went downhill.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's surprising because everybody hates Shanahan.
Yeah.
He's like,
Why? Everyone loves Shanahan.
well,
No,
he flourished in Atlanta's offense.
Yeah.
But I just
Ryan?
don't know what.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was Matt Ryan's best year, right?
Yeah.
But Matt Ryan just once you got up to like that 30-yard line, he looked lost. He had no clue what to do.
Well, there was a side-by-side video of the what was it? The championship game?
Just the regional.
The divisional.
The divisional.
It was of the final play of that and the final play of this game against the Eagles, and they ran the same exact play. And they both were like were not run well.
When they didn't,
It was like literally a side-by-side video of like the same moment of
same
release.
play.
It was like, ooh.
When they didn't take the easy field goal
Yeah.
on the first drive,
Yeah.
you knew it was going to be a bad game.
Exactly.
You go, why would you walk out of here on the first day? You could kill that crowd with a field goal.
Yeah.
But you hype them up. You gave them the ball.
You let Philly be Philly.
Exactly. The only reason why Philly has succeeded, and this could be sour grapes for me, but it's because of just idiocy on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, they stumbled into a W. It was kind of like...
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, we just survived them from being
It was like the fastest, like, one-legged racer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like...
That's the thing that I said about the Eagles is people aren't realizing that, Nick Foles, not a great quarterback. The only reason why they're going to be winning games is because their defense is going to be putting up...
Also, give it up to Jay for running it over.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's...
Yeah.
The Dolphins, what the fuck are the Dolphins thinking? But I guess they have Kenyon Drake, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, Frank Gore wasn't terrible.
No. Oh, we'll get to Miami in a minute. They're still playing, by the way.
That game is still going
Still going on.
Week 2 is starting, and they're still waiting on thunderstorms.
At the Super Bowl, they finally finish.
We only have 15 more games to play.
All right, who's next, baby?
What was I going to say? No, yeah, that was the one thing that kept me in that game was having Ajayi in fantasy.
Right.
That was the main reason I kept watching.
Yeah, Ajayi had 2 TDs, and everyone else looked like garbage.
And because you know what it was, they brought him in on a lot of like red zone offense, a lot of, and I didn't know if they kind of weren't giving him a lot more work because he was coming off an injury.
Yeah, I also think because a lot of the Atlanta players, I think after like during the second half, just falling off.
Yeah.
Because they weren't. It looks like they weren't drinking any water. They were cramping up.
Yeah.
And it was in Thursday. It was very humid in the East Coast. Like it was just disgusting out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what who's like is anyone watching the Falcons and what they do?
Yeah.
There are 2 things that really bug me.
And they ran that fucking New England play. Philly.
Oh, the Philly special?
Oh my god! Well, it wasn't the Philly special. It was like I think it was the play that Brady.
It was Tom
ran.
Brady tried, and
that's the Philly special where they Philly where they fucking I
don't know, man.
Roll
I saw people flipping a shit online, going, "Everyone's saying it's the Philly special. It's not the Philly special. It was different. It was like a double handoff, and then they did this and this." And I was like, "All right." I thought
Collinsworth came himself on air. He's like, special.
They did it again.
RPO.
Here's a guy. I can't believe he did it. RPO.
RPO. Oh, sorry, Al. I think I got some on your chin. Oh, no.
So, non-announcing wise, there were 2 things that really bothered me about this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's going to set a precedent for the rest of the season.
One was that it was the Eagles.
Well, no.
And 2, it wasn't the Cowboys.
No.
Every game should be the Cowboys.
The NFL still doesn't understand what a fucking catch is, and it really fucking bothers me, because that Julio Jones play, where he fucking pinned it against his helmet and rolled out of bounds 5 yards after catching the ball.
There was a lack of a football move.
Yeah, unbelievable that they would call that incomplete. Makes 0 sense to me. And also, the penalties in this game. The unnecessary roughness or roughing the passer, like all these dumb penalties.
When the guy was in like midair and he had to like not
hit the quarterback. Like it makes no sense.
He was right.
He gets, not only is he in the middle process of a tackle, he also gets pushed into the tackle.
Wasn't there a roughing the kicker and because the guy was getting pulled down, he just kind of rolled into the kicker. And
I think that was a quarterback. I think that was.
I don't know. There was a roughing. I know there was a roughing the kicker goal where it's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's natural momentum.
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to catch before football started, like when I think it was Fox did their Sunday Morning Football, whatever it was, the skit they did with Rob Riggle?
No. He's usually very good.
Yeah, they had a great one. I might actually make it the clip this week.
Okay.
Because it was like a children's sing-along where it's like, hey kids, like football's back. And it was like all the children like singing in the crowd. And they were like, and we finally know what a catch is. And then the girl's like, wait, what's a catch? And they're like, you either have to make a third step or do what is considered a football move. And then they were like, what's a football move? And then they just kept singing, like they just completely ignored it. And then the guy was like, wait, wasn't there also a rule about something with helmet to helmets? And then like security comes and like takes the guy out. Like, get out of here, pal. It was so good.
Did you guys see that video of the high school team that was practicing and they had kids 20 yards away from each other running head first at each other to try to tackle each other?
That seems pretty...
And the guys across the football field, and you hear helmet to helmet, like nonstop, just in a line, just kids.
Well, I could think of a job opening coming up. So.
I wouldn't play for that guy, and I would play for the guy who, when his team was getting pancakes, gave them shots of maple syrup. He had a bottle of maple syrup and was just like, let's go.
That sounds dope. That's my kind of coach.
This game was a complete stinker.
Yeah, not entertaining.
Boy, oh boy, was Saturday a fucking great day of football.
Saturday?
Sunday. I'm sorry.
See?
Saturday.
Julio Jones.
Saturday was great. College was awesome, though.
Julio Jones did go off, though. So that's something.
Ball State.
Loyola?
I was like, because this is one thing
Oregon one.
If someone could explain this to me
Oh, you
about...
mean Nike University one?
Yeah.
This is the thing I don't understand about college. I don't understand why there's teams like Notre Dame that play against places called Ball State and nearly lose the game. Like, what the fuck? That would be like if, like, the Patriots played a CFL team and we're just getting routed. And it's like, what is this?
Well, they usually schedule like tune-up games.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, and Notre Dame's hilarious with these because they'll lose those games.
Yeah.
it's like you're supposed to see like Notre Dame compete for national championships, but they like fucking get like smacked around by like Wisconsin Community College.
Yeah, that's like South Harmon Community College.
Exactly.
South Harmon Institute of Technology.
But
Greendale, who knows?
So probably my favorite of the.
Well, they have Troy as their quarterback. So.
Probably my favorite of the 1 o'clock games. Probably one of the two most famous ones. Steelers and Browns.
Steelers Browns.
My God.
Which Mikey very high in the Browns this year.
Hey man, I said I predicted that
they
they'd
Hard
win.
Knocks magic.
I said that they would win.
Has any team on Hard Knocks had a good season after Hard Knocks?
I don't think so.
Yeah. There we go.
Which is
it's like
why
the Madden
which
curse.
is why I'm glad the Giants don't do it, so we can just continue having mediocre seasons.
Right? Just right in the middle.
And I'll bring it up later.
Right. Yeah. So
see, it was weird because obviously I was watching Giants Jaguars like mainly, so when that ended and I kind of turned on Red Zone, and started catching like the ends of these 1 o'clock games and later looking up highlights, and I was just so invested in Steelers Browns because it was in overtime. It was like pouring rain.
Yeah.
Like I watched that interception. They set up the field goal. I was like, what a story time ending this is going to be for Cleveland to win Week 1
against a rival.
In the pouring rain against the division rival, and then the field goal gets fucking blocked by TJ fucking Watt.
Yeah, the bet I think Pittsburgh came out hot early. They went up 21-7 on them, I think, right?
Yes.
And then the Browns, and then Ben Roethlisberger's like, this game's not interesting enough. Let me give some points back.
Yeah. So I could contemplate retirement.
And so I could just make fun of Mason Rudolph the whole time.
I am amazed that after that game in the press conference, we didn't hear Big Ben like, Mike might not want to play.
Season. my time's getting short.
It was a real tough game.
He just looks up in his locker and there's a noose just hanging, and he's like, soon.
Today, old friend.
It's been a long time since I was at Wild Guts.
I think this week I'm going to put the walking boot back on and really contemplate my future in this league. But no, what an awesome game.
If you think so.
On the Browns.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great because it's like, first off, I'm not a huge fan of Week 1 division games.
Okay.
I feel like it's borderline not even fair. Like, teams are still kind of getting to form.
Right.
And a division game right away. That's why I always fucking hate how Giants and Cowboys would play Week 1.
Right, yeah.
I'm kind of happy it's Week 2 this year because it feels a little more like we have a game under our belts.
Yeah.
A lot of these games start out the first half kind of slow. Like, teams are finding their footing.
Yep.
I agree with you because division games are so important.
Exactly.
That, that comes down to whether or not you make it to the playoffs if you're tied with the guy in the team in first place. So it's kind of annoying to be like both teams starting off cold, let them face each other, and then that sets everything up for the rest.
It also sets a precedent where it's like I look at the Giants. We'll get to that game, but it's like, well, we lost to the Jaguars in Week 1. And, we lost, but I don't feel overly, bummed about it because they're one of the top teams in the league or, whatever. It's not a divisional game.
Yeah, there was 3 divisional games
We lose to the Cowboys Week 1, and it's like, well, fuck, we're already down in the division. We lost a fucking game. The season's over. You know what I mean? It's
no, yeah, I get you.
Not as bad. Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. So,
but it's also like you had, X amount of weeks to prepare. Obviously, preseason games no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
But you had this many weeks to prepare, so, with the Lions, why didn't you prepare for this?
Exactly. Yeah. The Bills, why didn't you prepare?
The Bills. What the fuck are you thinking?
But, it's cool with this because now this sets up the excitement and the story of, when they play each other again, the Steelers and the Browns, of, they tied and, wherever they'll be later in the season. I assume the Steelers will have a much better record. But
what if they're, going neck and neck and, this is the one game that determines who goes to the playoffs?
And that's what I'm saying, man. You never know. That's we play you guys, I think, the last game of the season this year after Week 2. Mm-hmm. So it's who the fuck knows what implications that could have, or it could be meaningless for both of us.
Right.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
I mean, that could come down to, say it's either of our teams going up against Philly, and we need to win that game to tie. But if we win that game, then we advance over Philly, and Philly's not going to know.
Exactly.
But, can I just mention a interview that I read after this game that I thought was just genius stupidity?
Sure.
Because apparently Hugh Jackson said that Josh Gordon wasn't supposed to start that game, but there was a mistake, so he ended up starting that game.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very Browns thing.
Right? Like, I saw them, I was like,
he scored a fucking touchdown. How could you
17 yards.
Todd Haley is licking his chops like, can't wait to coach this team.
My prediction is looking closer and closer that Hugh Jackson will be fired before the end of the season.
He should have been fired after that game.
Yeah. And I think they said
his mom died.
He was going to start, and he was going to get limited snaps.
Yeah.
And then he played way more. He played like 90% of like the offense.
He only got
Todd
one.
Haley's like, get the fuck out there.
Yeah.
We have to win this
He
game.
only got one reception though, so.
Still, having him out there opens up other people.
Gordon,
But they also didn't really pass a lot. He only passed 15 times. He had 40 attempts.
Tyrod
15 completions.
Wait, he had 40 attempts?
40 attempts, 15 completions.
That's not great.
200 yards.
But he had like a 70-yard run, too.
He had 8 carries.
He put up more fantasy points than Kirk Cousins, and I know that because I had both of them.
He had 8 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown, average of 10 yards.
Yeah, there we go.
Carlos Hyde, 22 carries, 62 yards.
He ran more yards than the running back.
This is what you call a slop game. This is the shitty weather.
Yeah.
The quarterback was throwing like crazy, even though he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be.
They should be pounding the line, but
and that's why I said it more so applies to daily fantasy. But Tyrod Taylor is the poor man's Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Because you get those rushing points.
Yep.
Because Kirk Cousins, I think on my team put up 23 or 24, and Tyrod put up 26. And I was like, damn. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference. It still would have gotten routed.
And Cleveland's going to be playing New Orleans this week, so that's
going to be...
They're going to be 0-1-1.
0-1-1.
0-1-1.
Oh, so do you want to even give Buffalo and Baltimore the time of day?
I just want to say that I think our predictions are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
That the Bills are a dumpster fire this year.
Why would you even think of starting Nathan Peterman?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But you know what's weird? He actually had a worse quarterback rating this Sunday than he did in the 5-interception game.
Yeah, because he sucks.
Yeah. But he somehow found a way to be worse.
You know what? Here's the only positive thing I'll say about Nathan Peterman. He will make a tremendous coach next year.
Oh yeah,
because he'll never play again.
When him and Josh McCown are coaching the same team.
Nathan Peterman's gonna be coaching the fucking Patriots right to Bill Belichick, and Josh McDaniel's gonna be like, I quit the coach for this.
I'm supposed to get this.
It's my job. Why am I getting passed up on it?
Is that how Josh McDaniels actually sounds?
Who cares? He sounds like a wiener.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard the man speak.
I play quarterback and I'm 4'2".
What pisses me off about this game is that I think the Ravens are okay. I don't think, for some reason, everyone's very high on them this year.
Well, it's the 47 points.
Well, I was hearing it before that. But that's what pisses me off is now this feeds into it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, they destroyed the Bills. And it's like...
Surprise!
Yeah.
The Bills lost.
Wow.
I feel bad for that coach. Was it McDermott? Because he's a good coach. It's just that he picked the wrong fucking quarterback.
The Bills.
Yeah.
And still, shout out to Pat McCaffrey. It's like when he tweeted, it's like, it's smart to cut both your punters when you have Nathan Peterman just throwing interceptions.
Yeah.
Give up field position that way.
I really feel bad for Josh Allen, who's going to get thrown to the Wolves next week.
Well, that's good for him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have such a bad offensive line. And
they have a bad everything.
Exactly. So he's going to go out there and just get murdered.
The real losers, Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
This is true.
Surprising lack of videos of people being put through tables.
It's still warm.
I saw one guy try to jump through it and then land on his head. I think that was from
the only video I saw was
we're in postseason form, baby.
Yeah, the only thing I saw was the sweet Detroit Lions fans fight. It was like two old men.
two old men. Yeah.
One guy just took
one. I think
like 90% of football fights they see are like drunk old men
against the same fan base.
Against the same fan base and another drunk old man.
Yeah. And then the poor wife trying to stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it! There's children around. Fuck the kids.
All right, what game are we going to next?
let's keep going around the league here.
Do you want to do another divisional matchup, or do you want to do maybe another like? Do
you guys want to do one of our teams?
It's up to you. Giants, Jags.
Let's talk about the Giants and the Jags.
Giants, Jags.
Let's talk about the Giants.
I caught a lot of this game.
Me too.
I didn't expect to because I had to be at work, but
now some stuff I liked and some stuff I didn't like.
Stuff I liked.
Odell.
Yeah.
Odell looked like a
He
different.
looked
He looked better than. He looked amazing by Odell standards.
Yeah.
And that's weird. Like
I think
it's hard to even fathom.
Yeah, Odell and Sterling Shepard were really doing work.
Yeah.
Eli Manning starting off the game going like 11 for 11.
Yeah.
Wild.
He was doing well. And then
Eric Flowers took over.
Yeah, and tried to trip Calais Campbell.
God damn, dude.
Evan Ingram had a lot of drops.
He did.
Yeah.
But he does that. He did that early last year too. It takes him a little while.
Yeah. But no, with this is what baffles me is that you cleaned house on all these Gettleman, McAdoo and Reese guys, and like somehow you signed Nate Solder, we overpaid him, but sometimes there's
you gotta break a couple eggs to make an omelet.
A lot of bad offensive linemen out there right now. There's statistically bad offensive lines right now in the NFL.
Right.
You have to overpay for mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
We got Nate Solder. Okay, cool. We replaced Eric Flowers, and yet we just mosey him on over to the right side of the line and give him no competition for the job. And that's why when all these people were telling me, "Oh, Giants are going to make a run this year," I go, "No, we're not. Eric Flowers is still on this team, and that is still an issue." You saw in the first quarter the deep ball was in play, and everyone was saying, with Shermer back and McAdoo out, the deep ball is back in play, and that's Manning's wheelhouse.
Right.
You immediately saw us go kind of right back to 2017 offense when the pressure started coming towards Eric Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You started seeing those slant routes. You started seeing quick get-it-out passes. And Manning starts crumpling when a piece of fucking macaroni is thrown at him. You know what I mean?
El dente.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he could see the rush coming now.
Yeah. Now it's like knowing you're going to die instead of just getting blindsided.
Yeah.
It's like, here we go again.
And I'm scared looking forward because just naming some of the names we have to play this year.
Right.
J.J. Watt, JPP, Khalil Mack, whoever the fuck you guys have.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. It's going to be a long fucking season.
I was telling one of my coworkers, like, as a Cowboys fan, that matchup is mouth-watering to me.
Of course.
Because that's just, like, I could only imagine. That's, like, one of the best pass rushers in the league right now, going against, arguably, the worst pass blocker in the league.
And my favorite is, I don't know if you guys heard the post-game press conference, or this came out yesterday, I believe. I think it was Art Stapleton. I could be wrong. He asked Flowers about, that matchup with Calais Campbell. And Flowers' response was, well, I didn't know if he was going to come at me as more of a power rusher or a speed rusher.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
You didn't know that Calais Campbell was like the third best defensive end in the league. You didn't know if he was a power rusher or a speed rusher. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Just stand in the way.
Yeah.
Just awkwardly, when you're walking down a hallway and someone walks on the same side, just do that for a second. Just like, oh, sorry, which way do you want to go?
Yeah, like,
now,
come on, dude.
Now, I'm not saying this. I'm trying not to say this as a term of biasy because I feel like I would feel the same.
We're all in agreement he's trash, dude.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, but even if it was from a different team, I personally think that he should have gotten fined for the trip against the guy only because it was obviously intentional. It was a very intentional, I'm trying to injure this guy, I'm trying to do anything to stop him, and I feel like in a league where you're cutting down on so much on not hurting people intentionally, you should be getting a fine for that.
I think it's a valid point. I think... see, like, something that's, like, imposing more, like, it's more violent, I feel like would induce a fine. It wasn't right to trip him, but I think that's just his own stupidity. And I think, he would have fallen, but, like, it was a penalty, and I think the penalty was fine because that's another thing that pissed me off, was that every time we got a successful, like, play for, like, 20, 30 yards, it got called back. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
He's not a professional football player.
No, he's not. And it will haunt me forever that we took him over Todd Gurley.
How come you can't put him on the inside of the line?
That's what I always wondered too.
Because he's a guard. You can't be a tackle.
But is he? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to use his power and his strength,
that doesn't help anything. Because if we move him to the inside, we still don't have anybody on the outside. It's not like
if we move him towards the inside, it's just a more direct line to Eli Manning.
Yeah. then you have to change the whole protect. You basically have to have Jonathan Stewart in every play just running behind him.
I will go on record and say that, because for everyone that thinks like, oh, we're going to be really good this year, I say, no, we're going to be really good like next year. We're going to be really good in 2 years.
When we get
because
Eric
this
Flowers.
is Eric Flowers last year. I will mark my words. This is the end of his rookie deal. We are not re-signing him, and if we do re-sign him, it better fucking be as like a depth, in case someone gets hurt. Because I don't want this guy anywhere near my fucking quarterback anymore.
But see, that's
because it's ruined Eli Manning. He is afraid to be in that pocket for more than like 2 seconds. Yeah, exactly.
And it's not even like the rest of the offensive line is okay, but they're not great. They're not like fantastic. So either way, it's collapsing from somewhere, mostly from his side. But then like he's always has to keep his eyes like aware.
I think Nate Solder let up 1 sack. I think Will Hernandez let up a holding penalty. There's a little bit of trouble all around. But Hernandez is a rookie. We could let it slide. Yeah. With Solder, it's gonna happen. You let up a sack, okay, that's fine. But with Flowers, it's just like...
It's the penalties. Like, sacks you could live with, penalties you can't live with.
I cannot fathom Shermer letting this happen all season. We have to pick... There has to be a serviceable right tackle anywhere on any fucking waivers right now.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, Chaz Green.
Or please, fucking trade. Get somebody. Please. Because it's like, we passed on a quarterback, and that's fine. We have Saquon Barkley, that's fine. But we have a 37-year-old quarterback who's like one devastating hit away from being his career over.
Yeah.
And that's what scares the shit out of me with Eric Flowers on that line.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, there's not really much to say about this game. It's just that, like, even Jaguars look relatively mediocre as well.
Yeah.
But even if you go into the game and you're like, all right now we don't have a plan to replace Flowers in the middle of the game. Why don't you throw in Ingram next to him to prevent...
Ingram's not a blocking tight end.
Well, that was our problem.
It's an extra body. That's what I'm saying.
We were bringing Ingram in for a lot of blocking in like an 11-man front. Yeah. He's an okay blocker. What we have is Rhett Ellison.
He's the blocker.
Who last year, when they would put him on that front, was a lot better at blocking.
So then you put in 2 tight ends.
And I'm saying, put Rhett Ellison over there. Yeah. And not for nothing, like Shermer had some creative runs that, in the next few weeks will be a little more put together. Mm-hmm. Omame had a play where he just fucking like tripped right in the beginning and just was taken out of it. Mm-hmm. But I give Shermer credit. He's finding ways to get Barkley out in the open.
Yep.
And I said it before, why I didn't like Saquon in fantasy was it's going to be a lot of these 3-4 yard runs until he can break one.
Yep.
And what did he do last week? He broke one.
He averaged 2 yards a carry and then he broke one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a few other takeaways from the game. Eli's got to get that deep ball down. 2 passes that Odell was open that we couldn't get the ball to him. That would have been a touchdown on either one of them. That would have won us that game. The interception I'm not so much going to put on him because he got hit on the release, bounced off a fucking lineman and into someone's hands. That's just unfortunate. And that's Eric Flowers.
I think there's not much we could say about this game. It's
Leonard
Fournette is hurt
again. I was going to say, I liked him up until he got hurt. I thought he looked really good.
I said exactly last week, I said it's going to be a race to 20-21 points in that game.
Yep. Yeah.
And the final score was like 20-15.
Yep.
So it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was just that the Jaguars came out on top. I'm not overly unconfident because last year they were one of the best defenses in the NFL and we stood toe-to-toe with them. Mm-hmm. And makes me honestly very confident in next week. I think I'm going to panic a lot more if we lose next week against Dallas.
I have a quick question based off of that interception. Do you guys think that a tipped, like a ball that the quarterback throws, and I know this ball was tipped, what I'm saying, this is what I was thinking. If a quarterback throws a ball and it hits a receiver and bounces out and it's an interception, should that still be counted against the quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, any interceptions against the quarterback. You just described 85% of Eli Manning's interceptions.
Tony Romo had the same problem. That's why I always hated seeing how many interceptions he threw. And I was like, but a lot of those are like tip-offs from the receiver.
I think there should be that should count in the total interceptions, but then there should be like an asterisk number of like clean interceptions. Something like that. All right, so you want to talk about Dallas?
Let's go
Dallas, Carolina.
Yeah, let's go Dallas.
This was a weird week because it was my birthday weekend, so I was out having dinner and watching Dallas and Carolina from the other side of the restaurant.
That was another kind of snooze fest. It was
defensive battles.
It was all defensive. Our offense did not look great at all.
You only have Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah,
didn't even use Allen Hurns, used them one time.
Used them once.
The thing is, your defense kept you in that game.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like what the problem is, and I was having a conversation with my cousin, and he said it, and he brought it up again. He was like, and it's just what I was saying. Dak Prescott got exposed, and I was like, no, he's not the one that got exposed. What got exposed was our offensive play calling. That's what got exposed. Our offensive playbook is atrocious. Scott Linehan needs to go. And I've been saying this for like 2 years now because it happened on 4 separate drives I counted where it was like second and long, like second and like 20. Mm-hmm. And what do? A 3-yard slant pass. All right? Then what do? Oh, we run the ball with Zeke for 3 yards. All right, now we have to punt. And then it happened again. It was like, all right, second and long. All right, let's try to get Allen Hurns in here. Let's try to get, Thompson. We could get Beasley. Get somebody. Get Michael Gallup. Throw it to somebody. And it's, again, a screen pass to Elliott, 5 yards. All right, run again with Elliott. All right, let's punt. Like,
the reason why that happened is because you guys don't have a true number one receiver. I would never
you guys have like a committee of like wide receiver 2s and 3s.
Yeah, exactly. You have 2.5s and 3s. I would never put a team of like a wide receiver hopes on Allen Hurns. I would never say to Terrence Williams, be my star. Cole Beasley, on other teams, he wouldn't be in the league. It's just that like he succeeds with the short in the middle, take a big hit. That's his thing.
He's a very quick slot receiver.
He's a possession guy.
I think with the way your offensive line has been set back a little bit, it's exposing a lot about this team.
Yeah. Well, it's just one guy that we don't have right
now.
now.
But it's a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But Looney looked like he was able to hang, which looked good. But again, like Smith, our left guard, wasn't doing so hot, and usually he's really, really good.
Something to watch for next week when we play each other, and we'll get to game previews.
Right.
But Betcher, what I think he's going to try to do is capitalize on that and send heavy blitzes towards the A gap, which is something he's very known for.
Yeah.
And if he's doing that, like you guys, it's going to bring a lot of pressure right in that weak spot. It's going to, you know what I mean?
But this is where I'm hoping that we adjust our playbook, because again, we didn't really use Dak as we have been. We're running the option. Like, we barely ran the option with him, and he barely ran.
Your playbook's been working the same for about the last 3 years, so why would you change it now?
And now that there's not like Jason Witten to keep it together, you know what I mean?
It's that's why I think it's the safety of the Cowboys playbook. It's just that you could always go back, and you could always who's gonna catch a 15-yard pass against the Giants like at least 3 times this week? Cole Beasley is gonna catch 3 15-yard passes against the Giants.
Yeah.
And he always does that. Fucking Terrence Williams is gonna he'll maybe do 50 yards. Zeke will have maybe a 65-yard game again and a touchdown. But the Giants are gonna dare Dak to throw. That's it.
That's what it's gonna be because the jury on Vernon is still out.
Yeah.
Shermer said he was going to practice this week. I heard reports he wasn't at practice today. I'm hearing he might practice next week. I don't know if he's playing this Sunday or not. I don't know what the fuck the deal is. If Vernon plays, I'm going to agree with you on Zeke. Right. If Vernon doesn't play, I'm going to say Zeke's going to go about maybe 80 to 100 yards. But don't buy too much into the hype of one of your receivers if they have a big game next week. The Giants' secondary is not good.
No, I know.
It's Janoris Jenkins, Eli Apple's stepping up, which I said would happen this year.
He did step up. He looked good.
But the depth is not there. Mm-hmm. So if either one of those guys is subbing out on plays, you guys might have some big games.
What I want to see the next week.
We're kind of bleeding into game previews, but of course,
sorry,
because we don't have to preview this game. We can kind of get it out now.
I mean, there's nothing really much to say except we couldn't contain Cam Newton. That's something that we
Christian
really.
McCaffrey.
Well, good luck containing Eli. Can't even see the guy; he's fucking gone.
Well, McCaffrey only had 50 yards. He had a worse game.
He had some devastating runs though.
He averaged 5 yards.
He smashed that line pretty hard for a small back.
Yeah. I think he got them
a few
key third down.
Who was it? Right for the Panthers also took a hit from Keith Lee or
Sean Lee,
whatever. Keith Lee. From Sean Lee, and Sean Lee just fell to the ground.
He also had a.
Hey, didn't get hurt though.
He also had a
keep him
great
off the
sack
field.
on Cam.
Yeah,
too,
of course.
which was
And then
nice.
the Panthers had 4 sacks on Dak. You know, it happens.
Sack on Dak.
Sack on Dak.
Yeah.
It's the Oikos Bowl. But it looks like the old.
I'm telling you, I mean, because since I guess we're kind of just previewing this game right now, it's gonna be a shitty game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Giants are always shit in prime time. And also, I think it's just going to be another defensive battle between both of our teams, where it's just going to be pass rush city on both of these fights. It's going to be open season on both quarterbacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be who can be the more successful one out of the two.
Yeah.
I do think we have more weapons, but the Flowers effect. So who knows?
All right. Let's talk about another team. Maybe put ourselves in a better mood. Do you guys want to talk about the surprise of the week, the Bucks versus the Saints?
Yeah, let's go there. So, I think this was the what everyone had as the mismatch of a century. Like, oh well, it's going to be the backup Ryan Fitzpatrick going against like the Saints stud defense from last year, and boy,
exposure.
We have entered step 4 of the Fitzpatrick cycle.
Yeah, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, where it's signed with a team as their backup. Quarterback gets hurt, you play and look great, get paid, suck, get released. So we are in step 3, I believe, of quarterback gets hurt or suspended, take over and look great.
Yep. Yeah, because
next team will be paid by the Bucks and then suck.
What is it? It's was it when Geno Smith got punched in the mouth? That's when he took over.
Yeah.
And now it's when Jameis Winston got suspended.
And they've already said before the suspension, before week 1, they said, we're not overly committed to Winston when he gets back. We don't know who's going to be the starter.
I think
if Fitzpatrick in one of these next 3 games does that again, Winston's out.
Yeah. No, I don't see him being out. I see him.
Well, they're going to wait.
It's going to affect his money,
yeah.
and that's going to hurt Jameis Winston. But I think they're hoping this makes Jameis Winston grow up in a hurry. Like, this is like, all right, kid, this is adversity. Either you do something and become the quarterback we know you can be, or, you could have a lot of fun being a backup.
Or you could be
like Matt,
of the XFL.
as Mikey says, you could be like Matt Cassell.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
You know how many people, speaking of just pronouncing quarterbacks' names weird, you know how many people I know, like older guys at our job, that called him Sam Darnold?
Darno?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the catcher of the Mets.
Yeah.
So they see it and they're like, oh.
Yeah. Like, oh, Darnold looks good. I was like,
it's Darnold.
Yeah.
Darnold, you bum.
There was a great Photoshop of like Jamal Adams and him that said, "Hey Darnold," and they had their jerseys on. Oh, it looked fucking awesome.
And I think he tweeted. He was like, "Man, how come that really looks like him
Jamal,
too?"
Yeah, it was like, so I mean, that game is just. I think that was a week 1 fluke. I don't think that's the Saints defense all year. I think it was week 1. They were in Tampa Bay. They were in Florida, partying it up a little bit. Maybe fucking showed up a little hungover or some shit, and did not play right. They're in New Orleans next week. I will be. Week 2 is when you really start to see who's who.
Yeah, and it's a nice reset for the Saints because they gotta light up the Browns.
Yeah.
I mean, like you look at like just Deshaun Jackson and Mike Evans both going off for almost 150 yards each.
Yeah.
Both with a touchdown. It's like yikes.
You also have a quarterback who's known for a big arm and is smart. He is, Fitzpatrick. Besides his major inconsistencies of being allergic to a big payday, he can throw the ball. And this is like you take a team who has the pieces, and I think a lot of the negative criticism against Tampa Bay is because of James Winston. Like you take him out of the picture. I mean, O.J. Howard's pretty good. You have their running backs Barber and whoever the other
Sean Wilson.
They got weapons.
Quiz Rogers.
They got pieces, and
I would even throw Cameron Braid into the O.J. Howard discussion.
Right.
Between the two of them,
they have a dual tight end threat. They have a decent line. They have a good defense. A decent defense.
I even think. I mean, you saw it last week. I think Deshaun Jackson still got tread on those tires.
Yeah.
He's as much as I fucking hate him.
He's expensive,
done,
Mike Wallace.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go out and get behind everything.
That's why I'm telling a lot of people in our fantasy league when they're like, "Yeah, I really need a flex guy this week." I'm like, "Dude, Deshaun Jackson's sitting there."
Yeah, take him.
Yeah. Obviously, Fitzpatrick's getting some chemistry with him.
Yep.
You always got to look at quarterbacks, when it comes to that.
Yep.
No. There's not much else to say about that game, but I don't expect, 1, that Fitzpatrick stats to keep up, and 2, the Saints defense to keep doing that.
Do
Do you want to talk about? Is there any other games you want to talk about before the big
Patrick
one?
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, baby.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about my man Tyreek Hill.
Because we said it in preseason Palooza. I said it. I didn't know what Patrick Mahomes was going to be. I stayed away from him in fantasy because I didn't know what he was going to be.
I said he was going to be fire.
And what I saw was fire.
Yep. He's
I
going to throw a
don't-
ball through a fucking brick wall.
I don't think you're going to see that level of performance year-round, like this entire year. But I think he's going to be pretty damn good all year. You know what I mean?
I also see...
Don't expect that game 15 more times.
For Mahomes?
Yeah. But I would expect, good games.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with this offense is he's only making, aside from the few bombs that he has, but if you look at that one of the Tyreek throws, it was just like a 15-yard slant that he turned into an 80-yard touchdown.
Tyreek Hill is an animal.
That's why it's kind of up in the air of how good of a game he'll have, because he could throw a 5-yard touchdown to somebody, or he could throw 5 yards that turns into 90 yards.
What they have to do is they have to incorporate their running game a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't think Kareem Hunt had a big game.
No, 50 yards, 16 carries.
Yeah, he needs to work in a little bit more. But I think as the temperatures get colder, I think that's when Kareem Hunt is going to get a little bit more work.
Mm-hmm.
I see Patrick Mahomes just fucking being a stud this year.
Yeah.
And they're my pick to go to the Super Bowl. So I think you're right. This isn't the outlier of the season. I think this is just a good start, but you can guarantee that no one's gonna be punting to fucking Tyreek Hill anymore.
Tyreek Hill. Oh,
you're gonna
makes
see
no sense.
You're gonna see a lot more fake 50-yard field goals this year against the Chiefs than you will see real punts.
Yeah. And that was the funny thing, because I have him in 2 of my leagues, and my phone was blowing up because of him, because it was first possession of the game, he punt returns for a touchdown, 80 yards, 94 yards, sorry, right, and then it's the next drive they have, he gets an 80-yard touchdown, and it's
he's a star,
and then he gets another touchdown later on in the game.
That is, to me, the most fun offense to watch.
Oh yeah,
in the NFL.
100%.
Because they are the Falcons of 2 years ago.
Yeah,
just crazy high power.
Because you have not only do you have Hunt, who's just a great running back, but then you have Tyreek Hill, who could catch and make something out of absolutely nothing.
Yes.
I mean, you saw last year when he ran that screen pass at the second half against the Cowboys, right before the second half of the Cowboys, and took that for a 50-yard touchdown. But then you also have Travis Kelce, who's a monster for all intents and purposes.
That's it almost breaks my heart, because I know when Pat Mahomes was in the draft, the Giants were looking at him, the Giants were high on him, and I'm like, damn, if we could have got him, I'm picturing that with Saquon and Odell, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would have been the same thing, just in blue.
Yeah.
So that breaks my heart a little bit.
No,
I'm not sure, because I think where Mahomes will flourish with Hill is because of how small he is and how quick he is. Odell's fast, don't get me wrong, but Tyreek has that small, not only kind of powerful, but also elusive and fast. And I feel like
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree that Hill's faster?
I think Hill's a little faster, but how many times has Odell taken a slant to the house? It's the same fucking thing. That's Odell's specialty, is running a slant and taking it 80 yards to the house.
I think Odell could do better with contact than Tyreek Hill can.
Yeah.
I think if Tyreek Hill takes a hard hit, Odell gets leveled a lot of times and bounces right back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyreek Hill, if he takes a couple of hard hits this season, we got to really see what he's about. Because he could burn people who are just, catching their breath. But let's see if, some linebacker gets the right angle on him and fucking just rocks his shit down. And, we got to see, that's a key for the season. So you got to see Tyreek Hill, God bless him.
No, I think he's sick.
What a speed demon.
I'm not taking anything away from him.
I don't personally like him. He's done some shit, so I don't like that.
I don't know what he's done. So.
Oh, in college he beat up his girlfriend pretty badly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's a shithead too.
So yeah, he's a shithead. But that's why I don't draft him. I know it's gonna burn me. I stay away from a lot of guys.
You got morals.
I got morals. Josh Brown, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Everyone out.
Brian, not a big Ezekiel Elliott guy.
Not a big Ezekiel. I'll tell you, not a big fan of people who take it. But that's why I don't draft Big Ben either.
Joseph Randall too.
Yeah, I don't take a lot of people
unreal
who are
You know who's ruthless with the fucking Ben Roethlisberger jokes? Tom LaFazzo.
Oh yeah,
dude. Anytime you see him, like they showed a clip of him, like just in the game, and he had like this like angry look on his face. And Tom's like, yeah, that's what he looked like when he raped that girl.
Damn.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
No tact, just go right.
Yeah, no, he always just like, oh, that guy's
that
a rapist.
Law and Order bell?
Oh, don't.
He'll be like, at least my quarterback doesn't rape people.
Damn.
It's just like, you're to the point. You're to the point.
Sure.
I can't.
Let's do a couple of quick ones.
Yeah,
I mean these games. All right.
The only other one I kind of really wanted to talk about
Jets
was
versus Lions.
Green Bay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll do the.
So here's a couple of quick hits. Washington whooped Arizona. I think we all called that.
Yeah. I'm not buying the hype though.
Yeah. Adrian
Arizona
Peterson's not
sucks.
going to run 96 yards every week.
No.
Thompson though, look out for him.
Yes.
Denver and Seattle were mediocre, 24-27, 27-24. I'm sorry.
Another two teams I don't think are either going to be anything this year.
Case Keenum threw out just as many interceptions as he's getting paid. Russell Wilson's still running for his fucking life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Cincinnati and Indianapolis. It's a good game. Welcome back, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
fuck that guy who put that big hit on Andrew Luck and got ejected.
Yeah.
That was horrifying.
Yeah, that was so fucking, such a shitty fucking thing.
Yeah. Another person I feel like
shit.
maybe should have been ejected was that guy that pulled Saquon Barkley's fucking head backwards.
Yeah.
That was awful.
That was really bad.
Jimmy G against the Vikings. The Vikings came out on top. They're a little bit more of a complete team than the 49ers, so that was...
I actually had that as, I guess, my game of the week when we were talking about that, just because I was excited to watch Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins go up against each other.
Everyone thinks that, everyone's now, like, pumping their brakes on Jimmy G, which is fair. It is week one. This is like, sixth start.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm telling you, they should trade for Lev Bell. That was my prediction.
I agree with you.
By the deadline.
I 100% agree with you. Here's a game that everyone thought was going to be great, but it kind of just stayed kind of subpar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because, a lot of nerves, a lot of people coming back from injury. Texans and Patriots.
Yeah.
A difference of 7 points. Probably watching the game would be a little bit more exciting, but Deshaun Watson didn't have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady was Tom Brady. Gronk was doing his thing.
Jets versus Lions.
What a fucking throttle.
What a surprise.
Apparently the Lions hate Matt Patricia.
Really?
They hate him.
I don't
Because he walked in being very condescending, and they're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You got lucky because you were
like
Bill
he walked
Parcells.
in trying to be like Tom Coughlin or something.
He walked in trying to be Bill Parcells.
Oh, okay.
It's like, you're not Bill Parcells. You're Matt Patricia.
Yeah. I think you said it best when you said who has come out of the Bill Belichick coaching tree.
No one.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad the Giants didn't take him.
The longest game of the year, the Dolphins and the Titans still going, I think. It's another 27 to 20. Marcus Mariota got hurt 6 hours before the end of the game. It was nuts. Blaine Gabbert stepped in.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Kenny Stills had another type of game with Ryan Tannehill, just throwing the ball.
Fins up, baby. 11-5.
Yeah, fins up. They finally won. My favorite thing is Dolphins have a brand new stadium. It looks nice. It's a fucking beautiful new stadium, open roof, in a place that gets fucking hurricanes all the time.
Yeah, no,
put a fucking dome on it.
Yeah,
the Marlins put a dome on it.
Yeah,
that was probably the
idiotic.
funniest tweet that he tweeted.
My tweet?
You're right.
Your funniest tweet that you tweeted. I was bummed because I wish that game would have been delayed a little longer and filled that 7 to 8 gap.
Right, you're right in between.
Oh, that would have been perfect. And shout out to all those fans that fucking stayed.
Do you all right, so yeah, we said the Jets. All right, get it out of the way. Everyone fucking shit on Darnold for that first pass, which was a coaching mistake, not him.
Yep.
Because they're like, if you looked at it, it was going to have two options.
Yeah.
Either one, what happened? A pick six, the guy ran it right in, or the guy was going to catch the ball and it was going to be big money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of you play with fire, you get burnt.
I saw the most savage fucking Reddit comment today. Because there was a video where I guess Odell somehow got his hands on the Saquon's first touchdown.
Right.
But the headline was Saquon's first touchdown ball stolen. And then somebody wrote in the comments, they were like, well, at least we know where Sam Darnold's first touchdown ball is, in the Lions locker room. I was like, oh my God.
So now, Raiders and Rams. I said this game wasn't going to be good. It was okay for a while.
Raiders gonna Raiders, Rams gonna Rams.
And I think it was another thing I tweeted is that Todd Gurley ran through a Khalil Mack-sized hole in their defense.
Yeah.
Just right through it.
Oh, yeah. And John Gruden, after the game, was trying to figure out why his defense couldn't put pressure on the quarterback.
Yep. And then he just
I wonder.
He threw everybody under the bus.
Yep,
he threw
Carr under the bus.
He threw Mac under the bus.
Yeah.
Okay, and that brings us to possibly what turned out to be the game of the week. I think everyone expected it not to be because it's such like a foregone conclusion that the Pack would smack the Bears around.
Yes.
But this game...
This was the most, like, WWE finish I've ever seen in football. Like,
the roller coaster of emotions.
Oh. So Rodgers goes down. They were getting clapped by the Bears.
Oh, my God.
Bears were up 20-0.
Deshaun Kaiser just, like, just looked lost out there.
Oh, yeah. One of my magical moments... I don't know if you don't listen to Pardon My Take, do you?
Not often.
Big Cat is a Bears fan, tried and true, and he kept saying he tweeted he was like, I just want to beat a healthy Aaron Rodgers,
right?
Being like, I don't want to win over
no
a fucking
asterisk,
over like another fucking like crippled Aaron Rodgers. Like, I don't want this.
Brent
shit.
Hundley,
this isn't how I want to celebrate. You know what I mean? And they were recording this week's Pardon My Take live. While watching that game, and just the heartbreak that like is going on while he's watching the Bears like lose this fucking lead and lose. Yeah. It was like, oh my God.
That was like when Davey Page was just watching the Michigan game that he bet a whole bunch of money on.
Yeah.
Then he's just like falling on the floor, collapsed.
Oh my God.
I called it once when Rodgers came that first drive. Rodgers came back and I think they settled for a field goal. I was like, Packers are gonna come. They're gonna run up the Bears. They're gonna come back. And it's going to be over. Like they're going to win the game. And then just unanswered points left and right.
That one Randall Cobb touchdown.
Yeah, come on.
He just broke free. I was like, oh my God.
They were going to cut Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
Like they thought he was done.
And here he goes. Like,
that's the momentum right there.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, when Bobby Boucher comes back at the halftime of the Bourbon Bowl and the Mud Dogs win it, like that was that moment. If Aaron Rodgers came back on the field, then everybody was like, "Let's fucking
I don't care what
go."
I don't care what anyone says because I'm kind of in the realm that when it comes to like talking about the greatest, that like Super Bowl rings don't always mean shit. And I truly believe when all is said and done, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL ever to play the game.
Though it was close at the end, Clay Matthews did try to rain on Aaron Rodgers' parade with some bullshit late hit on Trubisky on Old Biscuits.
Real shit move again.
Yeah,
I mean, Clay Matthews is probably one of the dirtiest players in the NFL that somehow everybody still likes.
Hate that guy.
That dude's a fucking douchebag.
The biggest fraud in the NFL.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, everybody
that agreement.
Everybody
finally. It's not like we're related or
Look at the spike in the audio when you guys high five.
Like everybody laughs at his fucking State Farm commercials with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. And just like the dude's a fucking douchebag. Like every year there's one or two plays that just show how much of a fucking like when he played against Dallas and he fucking late hit Dak.
Yeah, that's his move.
10 yards after the fucking
that's his move.
Fucking sideline, he's like out of bounds for a good 3 seconds, then all of a sudden Clay Matthews comes and fucking barrels into him.
I will never forget, it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, we were watching football in my living room for my birthday, and we were watching Green Bay versus San Francisco. Yeah.
I don't remember.
You were there with Ashley. We were in my living room watching football like all day. And they had, like, Clay Matthews had this late hit on Kaepernick. And they showed it 10 times.
Yeah, that's right.
In slow motion. That we were like, oh my God, I don't want to see this fucking play anymore. Yeah. Please show me the game.
Right. That was the day that we filmed you doing the Stone Cold.
Yes.
And so like, all right, now I remember that.
I just remember watching Clay Matthews put this late hit on Kaepernick, and they showed it 10 times.
Yeah. Well, because the guy gets away with murder and never gets fined, never gets thrown out. Never, like, nothing ever happens to him, and it makes no sense.
Yep.
Biggest fraud in the NFL.
100%.
Yeah, no, that was the fucking game of the week.
Clay Matthews, come at me, bitch.
After watching Goodell look really fucking pissed on Thursday night, when it was like the opening night of his product, and seeing that stinker, like you saw him pissed in the box.
Yeah, he always looks like that though.
You know he was pumped on Sunday when he was like, "Yeah, the primetime game was
thank God,
fucking awesome."
It's like Aaron Rodgers is my guy.
Ratings are going up. People are eating pizza. Fuck Papa
They're eating. Is Pizza Hut now the new sponsor?
Are they?
I think so because they were throwing some serious shade at
because I had
Papa John's.
Besides the Giants 1 o'clock game, I watch a Red Zone stream. Like I'll put the Red Zone stream on. I was playing Spider-Man, so I kind of had like a. So you don't get commercials. So I didn't see a lot of Pizza Hut.
Your boy got DirecTV Sunday ticket.
I like how like a day ago you were like, yeah, I got accepted and I'm so excited. Today you're like, I'm getting free Sunday ticket. Like
it's not free. It's not free. It's $25 a month.
So it's not free.
Well, no. I thought
that's
it was
pretty
free.
high, actually.
It's $25 a month for 4 months, but
So that's $100.
it's $100 for 4 months, which is a lot cheaper than like.
It's
not having it.
$100 for 12 months in pocket.
I don't need.
You know what costs
I don't
nothing?
Need,
r/NFL streams.
that too.
And I just go on there and put the stream on.
But also,
and then
I,
show me
by the
I
way,
have a
this-
father. I also have a father who's technologically retarded, so.
So you know what I do that's really cool? I
That's
find,
not nice to say about a guy who rebuilt your kitchen by his own hands in your old house.
Kind of.
Well, you know what I do that's really
Allegedly.
easy? I go on r/NFL streams, put the stream up, take the HDMI out of my computer,
Oh boy.
and I just put it in
Yeah,
here.
to the TV.
And
Oh,
I just
boy.
have fucking
Yeah.
rent.
I think I might
And
do
I didn't pay a cent.
I may do that.
Well,
at
that's
work
also
now.
illegal. So.
Is it?
Yeah,
Ha!
well, come get me, FCC.
Yeah.
FCC won't let me be.
Goodell.
Well, the whole thing with with us being with
It's me, you
my
boy.
dad and I being Dallas fans is we don't get to watch every game.
Of course.
So this was like, hey, like if we get this, even if we go half, it's like we don't need a dish, we don't need DirecTV at all. You just need me to pay for it,
Yeah.
and we have it. Like
Yeah.
you can access it on a Fire Stick, a computer, laptop, tablet, your phone,
Yeah.
whatever. So anything to like please him while also like giving me access to whatever game I want to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Catching that out of context was a little weird. Anything to please him. So
Yeah,
he can watch
I
the
just
game.
wanna please
Daddy,
my dad.
please let me watch the
Daddy,
Cowboys.
please. Please, Daddy.
Daddy,
Daddy.
daddy.
Daddy, let me
Hey.
run the RPO. Please.
Did you see what Landon Collins said this week?
What's that?
What's that?
He was like, I don't know, man. I think we're more of America's team.
Ouch. You know who's America's team right now? It's the fucking Packers.
It's the Patriots.
I think it's the Patriots.
No, everyone fucking hates the Patriots.
Yeah, but
Everyone hates America.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we just keep making things great
And
again.
you know what the Patriots do? That is the one thing I'll agree with Landon Collins on. We actually fucking wear red, white, and blue,
All right.
So
do the Texans.
does Landon?
and they're called the
does-
fucking
And so,
Patriots.
so then the Bills then are
Yeah,
American.
but
the
does
Bills
Landon-
are America's team,
does
the
Landon-
heartland of America.
But does
Buffalo.
But does Landon Collins know why Dallas is called America's team?
Yeah, but
Jerry
nobody
Jones
cares
said it.
anymore.
Do you know why he said it?
Because he's an asshole.
Well,
Because
he
back
said
in
it
the
day,
1930s, they were the only game
they
you
were
could
the only
watch
game you
nationally.
could watch
We don't-
nationally.
yeah. But
throughout,
you know what?
like-
What have you done for me lately?
Well,
make you America's
entertaining
team.
losses as well as entertaining wins.
Sounds like the Giants.
Sounds like the Browns.
No, that's
Where
just,
are we at?
That's just entertaining losses.
Yeah. All right. So now that was a recap. It was a week 1 overall fun week. Football's back.
Sunday was the first day. I was like, football's fucking back.
There was a lot of good across the board games. If you take out the Philly Atlanta game, and you got a good mix of what football's about.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna do the players and duds of the week. So studs and duds.
Studs and duds, baby.
Right now, I think my player of the week. I was leaning towards. Shit, I had it in my head like 2 minutes ago.
Well, while you're looking that up, I'll
Yeah.
tell you mine's easily Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Mine's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I was going to say, yeah, Fitzpatrick's not bad.
Also, I had another one, and I'm trying to.
I
remember
might go with. Yeah, I might go with. Shit, I had. Sorry.
You really just looked it up.
Oh,
on your
also
phone.
I looked at
was
this.
my second one.
I looked at the
Tyreek Hill.
schedule to see what game because maybe it'll jog my memory.
What team?
I think I was Andrew Luck being back and not being he threw for 319 yards.
Yeah. Nearly got his head ripped off.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably said good hit, buddy.
Yeah.
And
Nice
got
try,
up.
man.
Yeah. Good hit, buddy. Good hit.
Were you talking about Sam Darnold?
No.
Matt Patricia.
Matt Patricia.
Yeah, that
Matty
was your player of the week.
Matty Patty, definitely my player of the week.
Was it Antonio Brown?
He didn't have a good game.
Adrian Peterson.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Oh yeah, he could be up there too.
Yeah,
Khalil Mack for not really knowing their playbook and getting a pick
and
six.
just running through.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give it to Aaron Rodgers. That guy.
Yeah, I mean that was
put on his crippled knee.
That was one of the greatest games to just watch. It was a crazy comeback in a divisional game.
Yes, but also it's the Bears.
No, but the Bears are a
you can't say
competitive
that.
team.
Yeah, the Bears are. I think the Bears are.
Their defense is going to be really good once Khalil Mack gets that playbook.
I think they're kind of for real.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is Trubisky.
The biscuit. I love the biscuit and the Bears. You know, you gotta give them some
Bears
time.
and the biscuit.
Bears and the biscuit. Yeah.
What was this tweet where he was like, "I like titties"?
Big titty guy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
he also tweeted that he was like, "Go Pack, go."
Yeah, he's like Aaron Rodgers is the truth.
He sure is, buddy. You found that out on Sunday.
He has whip smart commentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dud of the week. I have two.
Matthew Stafford.
Matty Patty and John Gruden. Fuck those dudes.
Yeah, John Gruden's up there. I'm gonna go Eric Flowers.
Yeah.
Oh,
for not knowing Calais Campbell was a power rusher.
Or not knowing the game of football.
Yeah.
I mean, Matthew Stafford throwing 4 picks against the fucking Jets is like, and 2 of them were like 2 drives, like back-to-back drives.
He threw it right to a couple of guys.
Oh yeah, it was like not even close. So and 2 of them were for pick sixes, I think.
Yeah.
Like he looked horrendous.
There's gonna be.
I like Stafford.
There's going to be a crossroad. There's going to be a crossroad this year with Matty Patty and Matthew Statty. Matty Statty and Matty Patty.
It's like a Matty Petty.
It's a guy you're paying a whole lot of money to and your new coach, and it looks like they do not like each other.
Yeah, which is not good.
It's not a good start. It looked like nobody was prepared for that game.
Yeah.
And that's a straight reflection on the head coach. I don't like John Gruden this week because a real coach, a real champion, does not throw players under the bus, even if they're not on the team anymore.
That's one
Tom
thing
Coughlin didn't go out there and go, we would have won this fucking game if Plaxico burst and shoot himself in the leg.
That's true.
He said we didn't win this game because we didn't execute.
And that's when I knew. I mean, granted, there were other signs before that,
right?
But that was like one of those like Ben McAdoo's got to fucking go.
Yep.
Like Eli just ain't getting the job
when
done.
you.
Fuck you.
What's the old saying? When you point your finger, you have
7 pointing back at you.
You have fingers pointing back at you. 3 pointing back at you.
3 back at you.
It sounds like
if you dig a grave, make sure to dig 2 graves.
Are we thinking next year, Ben McAdoo coaching the Lions?
No.
He said he's taking this year off and he's coming back next year. You know what? We joke.
I do. I do see Ben McAdoo coaching the Lions. It's just that it's going to be the Wichita high school Lions.
But here's the joke: is that we all said the same thing about Josh McDaniels 3 years ago, when the Broncos were a dumpster fire. And then this offseason, he was like the hottest coach everybody needed.
Well, McDaniels left the Broncos to go right back to the Patriots.
Yeah.
And that's
he hid under the safety of being the offensive coordinator for Tom Brady.
Right, yeah.
It was
that's why he didn't take the coach job.
People are quick to forget in the NFL, and I think Ben McAdoo, again, is going to be a head coach one day.
I don't think so.
Again.
I think he'll be a coordinator or a coach. I don't think he'll be a head
he was
coach.
fine as a coordinator. But, so another thing in fantasy, like if you're streaming defenses and
right.
If somebody look against the Bills, look against the Lions, probably even look against the Raiders. I think those are is that order is how I would look to stream defenses this year.
Okay, and now so that was the Studs and Duds brought to you by Mr. Bubble Bath. Make sure you get your butthole clean.
Bath. I like that.
Yep. So now this week we're gonna do like a fantasy pick. Like who do you think will have the best matchup? Like which one of your guys that gets on your team you think is gonna be the outperformer? So everyone said their rosters a little bit earlier, except for me. My starting lineup is now Aaron Rodgers, Odell Beckham, AJ Green, Derrick Henry, Chris Thompson, Ben Watson, Michael Crabtree, Matt Bryant, and the Washington Redskins defense. So the team, I think that the person I think that will have the biggest week for me will be, I think, Odell. I think Odell is. I mean, it's a safe bet.
It is.
I think,
so let me ask you, because we're probably going to have some safe bets on this. Who do you think on your team is going to step up from last week and maybe have a bigger performance?
I think Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry?
It's going against Houston, and I think that they'll be a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mikey, do you know? Give us one of your leagues. I don't need to hear 4 of your teams.
Well,
Jim Thorpe. I have Jim Thorpe, Hall of Fame running.
Give me one of your main teams.
All right, so my main team that I care about the most, I have Drew Brees, Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Kamara, Alex Collins, Njoku, and Brandon Cooks. I think I'm gonna take. I have Brees and Rodgers, so I think I'm gonna take Brees over Cleveland rather than Rodgers over Minnesota's defense.
Okay.
And I think that's gonna be like a pretty good stream there.
Okay.
And there's no really big changes there.
Yeah.
Probably going to drop Delaney Walker and see who I could pick up.
Probably a good idea to drop him.
Yeah. No, I plan to. I was just trying to figure out which tight end I wanted to pick up.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you guys, if you guys had to choose a tight end, would you take Vance McDonald from the Steelers?
Is he still hurt or is he cleared to play?
Let's see. He resumes practicing full. Jesse James is the week 1 tight end catching 3 balls. It's a good sign for week 2 availability.
Yeah, he's probably gonna play.
Would you take Benjamin Watson
Brian has him.
I have him.
or Eric Ebron?
I have both of them.
Ebron. I'd go Ebron.
Ebron's going to line up more as a wide receiver this year with but they are playing Washington. I mean, Ben Watson's pretty, like, he's pretty steady.
For me, Ebron 1, Watson 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd go Watson 1, Ebron 2. Cause
so
Watson,
there's a clear answer for you.
There's the Jack Doyle dilemma.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
So for me, I think Antonio Brown, because he had a good game last week, but he really showed up like in the second half.
Yeah.
I think they're.
It broke his streak of 5 straight games against the Browns without 100 yards receiving.
Yeah. So I think he's going to step it up this game against Kansas City. As far as I actually have a tie for who I think is going to step up on my team. Number 1 is Evan Ingram, because divisional game. He dropped a lot of balls last week. He only gave me like 3 points. It was a rough week for tight ends last week.
Flowers took away at least 5 points away from him.
Yeah, exactly. So, Evan Ingram, I'm going to say, steps up a little more this week. Also, Denver's defense. I actually kept them this week because they're going against Oakland.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good matchup, so I decided to keep them. So I think they improve a lot over last week. Those are my 2 fantasy picks. I also like how the week hasn't started, and I have a 66% chance of winning.
There you go.
So I will not win.
And now, so that's our fantasy picks. This will bring us to the our game. What we think the game of the week will be. A lot of people are out there. I know we're pretty high on the Giants Cowboys, but that's because that's what we like.
Of course.
If there's a matchup,
I'll be honest.
besides,
I think that game's gonna suck.
If you take that game out, that's like a fair.
Is that the game of the week though?
It's
a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
But I just think it's 2 teams that
Monday night is Seattle, Chicago. So good luck with that. So now, the biscuit versus the boys in teal in highlighter green. So now, what do you think the game of the week will be?
So I think that it might be the Jaguars versus the Patriots. Tom Brady is 8-0 against the Jaguars, and I feel like this could be a year where the Jaguars might change that.
Is Fournette cleared this week?
No, not yet. He still hasn't practiced.
So then
his
maybe not.
Still hurt.
That's what I said
there in our AFC South, our AFC South preseason palooza. It says that Fournette needs to stay healthy. He needs to know when the big moment is to stay healthy, and he looks like he's gonna sit out.
If their offensive playbook changes, I think the Falcons versus the Panthers will also be an entertaining matchup. I think that with Matt Ryan's heavy pass offense with the rushing offense of the Panthers, I think that would make a nice little mix.
Okay.
And will be.
So a quick adjustment to our game of the week. We'll have 2.
Okay.
So you're saying that the Pats, Jags, and the
have like a run
Falcons. Carolina.
Yeah.
If you were going to pay money to watch that, those would be your 2 picks. Besides the Cowboys, Giants.
Yeah.
Take that out.
Okay. I'm gonna go Chiefs Steelers as my number 1. I think 2 very high-powered offenses. I think it could be a complete shootout, and those are always very fun to watch. What was your second one? Vikings.
No, he said
Panthers.
Falcons.
All right,
Thanks for paying attention, Andrew.
I would go Vikings Packers.
Damn, those were my 2 picks.
Yeah.
So I'll switch mine up.
Jets versus.
I mean, if you want, I can pick another one.
No.
All right.
Explain why you take that game.
Yeah, I think going against the 49ers, we saw a lot in Kirk Cousins that I liked. I think it's going to be another thing with the Packers where it's like, okay, we saw Cousins is for real. Now we have Cousins versus Rodgers, who's, if Rodgers plays, is coming off a red hot game.
Oh yeah.
So
you got to see how his knee holds
interesting.
Up.
Yeah.
And especially against a team that hurt him last year, took him out.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of personal stuff.
It's going to be. I think watching Rodgers against that Vikings defense is going to be fun, and I think vice versa with Cousins against the Packers defense.
All right, so here's mine. Mine's going to be a little wild now since Andrew took my picks. So I would think that the Texans at Titans will be a fun game to watch.
Okay.
I think this is maybe a week that Deshaun Watson just goes, I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Is Mariota playing? Do we know what's up with him?
I don't know
yet. Yeah, I feel like there's been no word on that.
It's still pretty early. Wednesday is usually the first day of practices, depending on how their week went.
Yeah.
And also, I will take the Chargers and the Bills. Reason why is that I like to see what Josh Allen could do. He's got a big arm, and also this will tell you what kind of Chargers team we're in for this year.
Yeah.
If they suck again and somehow lose,
if they lose to the Bills,
it's like
clean house.
Yeah. But then also it's like Phillip Rivers. They're going to Buffalo. They're going to see the Bills Mafia. I think San Diego. They lost last week, right? I'm pretty sure they lost.
San Diego. Yes.
Yeah.
They play. Didn't they play Kansas City?
Yes, they play Kansas City and they lost.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I like a lot of teams that are like a lot of contenders, like quote unquote contenders, off a loss because I think they're looking to hurt, and that's why I think New Orleans is looking to just blow out who's coming in. Pittsburgh I think is looking to just run up on anybody who's coming at them, but
because they're like we look like fools. We tied.
It's like
with the
how
Browns.
do we do this to us? We were in the Super Bowl a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like. I like it. I like a good team off a loss.
I think there's confidence now in James Conner as the running back with the Steelers.
It's like they know exactly who they are.
So you like the Chargers for that reason?
I do.
I do. They got a lot to prove.
I think they have a lot to prove, and then also I would love to see Josh Allen just light it up.
Yeah.
For some reason, he just drops buckets.
He's got those big hands.
He's got huge hands.
Yeah. It's good for the cold.
Good for the cold.
those EJ Manuel hands.
They measured his hands like he's somewhere between an EJ Manuel and Andre the Giant.
Well, where was I? Like, I think in Orlando they have like the NBA like restaurant,
right?
And they had the imprint of Shaq's hand. You could like put your thing in. They had one of those for EJ Manuel, and like Josh Allen had to put his hand in there to see if it matched up with EJ Manuel. But this guy's got big hands.
Kawhi Leonard's up in Toronto, like I could play quarterback.
Yeah, need him for the cold. Yeah. Probably didn't like that Tyrod guy.
No, Tyrod has tiny hands.
He has those normal hands.
He had them Trump fingers.
Call him Tiny Tyrod.
So that would pretty much do it for this week. I think we've had a lot of. The recap will get a little bit better with. I know we kind of harped on our teams a little bit, but that's what's going to happen.
Let me throw one in there. We'll do this every week leading up, but we'll check in on our fire extinguisher predictions.
Okay.
So we had Mikey saying, first he said Dallas top 5 defense by the end of the year. How you feeling after week 1 about that? You still think it's going to be the case?
I can still see it.
Okay.
It was a shaky first game, but we showed good with our run defense, and our defense held them to pretty much the last touchdown they scored was in almost pretty much garbage time. So
it's not garbage time if your team's competitive. Garbage time is when your team's down like 15 or 20. Yeah.
Gosh, but I mean,
garbage time is the reason they call it garbage time because it's just trash.
The way our team was looking, it was garbage.
If your team was down by 3,
it was not.
It wasn't. If your team was still running the ball with 2 minutes left in the game. It's not garbage time.
And you had 2. You had Josh Gordon at the end of the year, 1,100 yards, over 1,100 yards.
Yes, he needs
900.
He needs to times his receiving by 10 right now.
Yeah,
he'll be good.
Well, maybe. He's back
100.
He's
Sorry, 100.
For whatever limited snaps he was on last week, he's
back
from whatever that was.
Touchdown.
Maybe Hugh Jackson would remember how to write a starting lineup.
This is true.
Stupid idiot.
Brian, you had Philly going 5-11. How are you feeling?
I think, it's gonna sound dumb saying, well, depending on this week, we'll determine.
Yeah.
I think they looked very human after a Super Bowl win.
So if they stumble into another win,
if they keep stumbling and they just win on, because mistakes clean up as the season gets later on. As the Caesar salad gets later on. I think they're playing a decent team. They're playing Tampa Bay. So if Tampa Bay goes, like how they did against the, if Ryan Fitzpatrick drops another fucking 45 on a team, I really don't see the Eagles. I'm kind of leaning off my prediction. I'm leaning off.
I'm jumping off ship.
I'm still hoping they.
Well,
suck.
no, yeah, it's locked in. I'm just saying.
But if you remember,
not confident
I also said they're gonna go like 12-4.
Yeah, you said like they're either gonna go 5-11 or 12-4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're either gonna be really good
I
or
wrote
really
that.
bad.
I do remember that though.
Yeah.
All right. And mine, I had Le'Veon Bell to the 49ers by deadline.
Yep.
Still think it's possible.
It's
Still
looking
very
more like the
possible.
Jets, though. I don't know if you saw that.
I think
the
yeah.
Jets
with that.
followed Le'Veon Bell.
Well,
on,
the Jets
on
want to
Twitter.
sign him because
Also,
they have Jets.
I could see the Colts trying to get in that mix. Who's the Colts running back?
The same person who's their offensive line. No.
Yeah. So I could easily see them trying to get in the mix and get Andrew Luck a weapon.
They did that. I think the Colts may be a little bit hard off on getting another running back because they did make that trade for Trent Richardson a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And that did not work out. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Niners are in the mix.
It's a few times one of the Browns fleeced a person.
I think the only reason I could see them not doing it is like, McKinnon's hurt, but how long did he sign of a deal with them?
I think a 2-year deal.
Oh, okay, then that's not awful. Because I was gonna say like then next year you have Bell and McKinnon. It's like
Well, McKinnon's also on a low end contract anyway because he's not that big. Like he only had 1 full year as a running back.
Yeah.
And
So
he's always picked up
they-
for when people got hurt or beat their kids. So-
maybe more so push now of like, oh well, we lost to the Vikings. Maybe we're not as put together as we thought.
Right.
We should go out and get like a Le'Veon Bell.
I think if they're look, if the 49ers string together a couple wins and by week 6, it looks like they could take the lead in the NFC West.
Maybe they make a play.
They'll make a play.
Yeah.
They'll make a push.
I still have fair confidence in that prediction.
Yeah.
I think it could happen.
I do too. Yeah.
We're gonna know the outcome of mine before either of yours.
Yeah,
It's the trade
true.
deadline. Do I get to submit another one in week 6?
If you want to.
Yeah, we'll see what we're feeling.
Can I pass along 2 quotes that I just read? One of them is Kirk Cousins on Aaron Rodgers, where it says, "I think he flies at a different altitude than I do." Yeah, no shit. That's very obvious.
He was at a very high altitude during that game.
And
he was higher than everybody.
And Vikings coach Mike Zimmer, on if he's preparing for Aaron Rodgers to start for the Packers, he says, "Yeah, he walks on water, so I'm sure he's going to play." So
that's a spicy quote right there.
Yeah.
That's kind of throwing it right back at the press. It's like, yeah, you think he's Jesus?
Yeah.
I think he thinks he's Jesus
I think
too.
it was Pat McAfee literally had a picture of him like as
Yeah,
Jesus.
he had that poem in
Yeah.
the kids.
All right, so I guess we can wrap it up for this week.
Yeah, man.
Excited for week 2. Week 1, just firing on all cylinders.
That's true.
And may the best team win between us.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Whatever happens.
Whichever team loses that game is going to start panicking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either going 0-2 is a terrible sign for any season.
Especially against a division rival.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. We'll talk next week and see what happened.
Do you want to give a prediction on either a score or who comes away with the victory?
17-14.
That's exactly the score I was thinking. 17-14, I think we...
Giants win.
Giants 17, Cowboys 14.
Giants win with the last second field goal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Any prediction?
I have 21-24.
38-0.
Okay, so we both see it as like a field goal victory.
Yeah, but I see Cowboys.
Of course. Yeah.
It would be dumb if you did.
Well, I mean,
it would be weird if you're like, I think the Cowboys.
I
I
also predicted it in the preseason. I said that the Cowboys were going to beat the.
And I think I said the Giants win. Yeah, so it's fan bases. That's loyalty.
The Cowboys will win 16 games because they played so well.
It's going to be one of our 2 most tense episodes next week.
Or not. It would
Yeah.
just be like one team just gave up.
But by the time we record this, it's already getting ready for the next week.
Yeah.
I'm already past that.
It's gonna be a good matchup.
Like we said, we're the pick last. Also, they show it last.
Mikey, I'm going to message you at like 8 o'clock, be like, good luck, and I don't want to hear from you until like 11 p.m.
I don't want to hear from anybody until Tuesday.
Did we ever tell the story about opening day last year? Where I came over and just watching the hope fade from your
just
eyes,
watching my team fall
and I'm
apart.
just like, Andrew goes from like kind of like happy because it's football, and then slowly turning into a frown when my frown slowly turns into a smile.
Where like Mikey was playing like the game of like passiveness of like, hey man, it was a tough game.
This is one of Mikey's worst qualities is that he is too good of a sport that it almost feels like he's kind of taking a dig at you.
But I'm really not.
It got
like
to the point where I was like progressively drinking more as the game went on, and I'm just angrily trying to get a rise out of him. Like, you think your team's so fucking good?
Yeah.
You go fuck yourself.
No, yeah,
Get out of my opponent.
because
He's trying to get him to be like, fuck you. Like, trying to get anything out of him.
He tries so hard to be such a good sport that you're like, who the fuck are you? Who
the
fuck do you think you are?
come off as such like a condescending dick.
I like
you're
hey, buddy.
Because you're not doing anything.
Dust yourself off and come at you next week. You know.
I like to think that
What do
I'm
you
like
think
the
you woke
Andrew Luck of fucking.
No, but there's a difference between you and Andrew Luck, where Andrew's like, yeah, good hit, guy. It's like, buddy, let me break down why you're also terrible
Yeah.
and why I'm so much better than you.
Like,
That's-
oh,
that's
don't
what
worry,
I'm-
don't
what
worry.
I'm thinking.
You-
That's
you
what I'm
guys are gonna-
saying.
don't
At
worry.
least you're
You
not
guys
the
are gonna get
Browns,
'em next
right?
week.
At least you're not that terrible.
You guys are definitely gonna get them next week.
I'm
guys will
rooting
do
for
well.
I'm rooting for you, kid.
You shook my hand, and I drank
It's a
myself
good game.
and walked out of my
Yeah,
apartment.
It's a good
Yeah,
game. It was a
dude.
good game if you think about it. Everybody walked away with their heads held high.
At the end of the day, aren't we the real winners for getting to watch football? Fuck you.
We're just two friends that wanted to hang out and
Let's
watch
just
football.
remember, no matter what happens out on the battlefield,
Yeah.
we're still friends.
We can hang out and watch football when the Giants play like the Titans. Or some shit.
It-
Then we can hang out and watch football.
I'd trade my jersey with your jersey any day.
Did I tell you?
Eat shit.
I would not.
One of the guys
Potato
work
Dale.
with in the he's management. He's a Giants fan. His wife's a Cowboys fan.
Yikes.
He's like, we need to watch the game in separate rooms. It doesn't
Well,
vibe.
That's how my mom. That's how my mom and dad were. My
Yeah.
mom was a Dallas fan, and my dad's a diehard Giants fan. And well,
So
wasn't
it was
die-
like, we need to be separated.
he's
to
like,
watch this game.
he's like, I'm just gonna go to the game to stay away from you,
Yeah.
because we had season tickets. So he's like,
It's
I'm
like,
just
I don't
going
want to
to
do or
this game.
say anything I regret.
It's like,
When
I'm gonna
we're
be-
down 14 points.
I'm basically
So I'm
gonna
just
be
gonna leave.
a state and a half away from you while this game is going on.
So Anna and I are making a fair trade, and I bought her an Ezekiel Elliott T-shirt jersey.
And she broke up with you.
No, she wanted it. She asked me for it, and so in return I'm getting a Manchester City T-shirt jersey from her. So making a little fair trade right
That's
there.
not a fair trade.
Jesus.
Manchester United won so many more championships.
Yeah, but no, Manchester City won last year. And that's
Okay.
all that matters.
Soccer's the dumb sport.
Yeah, it's-
I'm going to my first soccer game in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, what kindergarten league are you going to see it play?
MLS. It's a New York City Football Club. I'm gonna
Oh,
go
the
see
one in
them
Yankee
play.
Stadium?
Yeah.
Red Bulls all the
You
way.
taking the subway or you driving there?
And his dad's probably driving us, so they have season tickets.
Okay.
So
Well, I was going to say, like, if you take the subway, just
I gotta say,
follow all the people in the
live-
matching shirts.
live soccer games are pretty fun.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
I went to a Red
like,
Bulls game with Tom. It was
I
pretty
like
fun.
soccer.
Yeah.
I just never had any understanding on how to follow it because aside from MLS, like La Liga, like it's kind of hard to like figure out where to watch them like on TV and stuff like that, and also like the Premier League, like I don't know how to watch that.
A lot of people were singing songs that, one, I didn't know, and two, there was a lot of people speaking a lot of different languages,
Yeah.
and I had no idea what.
I
didn't know. I had
When
no
I-
idea what was going on.
when
So
I
I've been
worked for
drinking
the-
a giant game for the right before.
When I worked for the Mets, they had a couple of like friendlies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like just dealing with the like because it was like empty, absolutely empty until like 20 minutes before the game started, and then everyone rushes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get there, and then it's like when the game starts, no one moves around until like it's like intermission.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because like during a Mets game, like people come in and out, they're all around.
Of course, yeah.
And it's like a fucking ghost town when the game's going on. You're like sitting there for 90 minutes, like, what the fuck's going on?
I forgot what I was.
People here.
I forgot what I was listening to, but somebody asked like, what's the difference between like going to like a football game and going to like a soccer game? And somebody says is like there's separate entrances. Like if you go to like a Premier League or you go to like in Spain, there are separate entrances for visitors and for home.
Oh, yeah, they
like
keep them
supported.
separate,
Like,
yeah.
they have like 2 lines of police officers like separating them,
Yeah.
and it's like you go to a football game, you could easily be sitting next to your opponent's like fan and
Yeah.
have no problem. But like you'd get fucking stabbed if you were on the other side.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's because there's so many more like transplanted fans around for football
Yeah.
that it's
Uh-huh.
not as serious.
Yeah.
While overseas and maybe I don't know how soccer in America works, probably not as
I don't
dedicated.
Think I don't think it's as dedicated.
But like when you're like in Spain or England or the other big soccer
Yeah.
countries, they're so like, this is my team, this is my like religion, this is my family, this is everything I'm about is
Yeah.
this team.
It's almost like a gang at a point.
Exactly. It's like like
we
they
wear these colors,
Exactly.
and I don't want to see you in those colors.
Yeah, and if like if your team loses bad against another team, it's like I'm gonna fucking kill this dude.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw a video. It was like fans from Liverpool were down the street from fans from whatever other team it was, and they just start yelling and then running towards each other, and then once they meet, they just start hugging each other, and it was like, oh, all right.
terrible.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when you said about like there's like one half of like fans and the
Yeah.
other half. Must be really awkward being in that edge. Being like right next to a guy from the other team.
Fuck
like,
you, bro.
And
the cop's like, hey.
Some fucking tourist is on his phone looking like the
it's like you guys score, you're all celebrating, and then you go for the high five. Like, nah, you guys.
So I wanted to like quickly bring that up because
we gotta wrap.
As people,
it's like this is garbage time.
Yeah,
as people might have realized, I was the one that was tweeting about soccer.
Yeah. We got some bad feedback on that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you from who?
Someone that replied to one of your tweets was like, "Wow, that take was garbage."
I didn't see that. So
I think it's one of his friends hit him up.
It was Tom.
Well,
yeah. Tom that like replied to you on the tweet.
Yeah,
he was like, is Mikey tweeting soccer on the Twitter because that take was fucking garbage? I was like, yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn the sport, so
hey,
I don't have Tom fucking next to me telling me what to do. I'm learning on my own.
As much as I like Tom, I feel like that would be a terrible experience for anybody. I feel like he's so passionate about the sport. It's like,
see, I can't say that because I can't fault you because I had Tom next to me while I was like watching hockey.
I
knew a lot about hockey.
I'm sitting there in my room watching an international friendly, and my only experience with soccer is playing FIFA.
Yeah.
And I don't have anybody teaching me how to play FIFA. I just learned how to play and adapt.
Except the instructions.
Yeah, so Tom, fucking come at me. Why don't you teach me how to play instead of talk shit behind my back? Talk shit to my face, bitch.
You think Tom's listening an hour and 48 minutes into the show?
That's why he's talking so big.
Yeah,
exactly. Nobody's gonna know.
I'll tweet Tom right now and be like, hey, bitch.
Go ahead.
I'll isolate this audio clip and send it to Tom.
Go ahead.
Hey,
bitch. Tom, I want to learn this sport. Fucking teach me. Instead of just calling me garbage, why don't you, you're like making fun of the fat guy at the gym who's trying to make something out of his life. I'm just a fat guy at a gym.
Watching soccer doesn't better your life.
This really devolved into some like self-help crisis.
Help me, Tom.
Please, Tom.
You're my only hope.
I'm crying out for help.
Tom, you act like I have no friends, and I sit home alone, and I ponder if life's worth living, and I tie the noose, and I look at it every day. And
I'm watching this friendly.
Jesus, Mikey,
every day it's closer and closer to my neck.
I'm watching this friendly, and I'm hoping, wow, where are my friendlies?
Yeah, I don't have any friends. It's a problem.
That was underrated, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're a real underrated hero.
Thank you.
Aw, nice throwback.
Thank you.
I actually found one of those episodes.
All right, we're wrapping this up.
Right.
We're in fucking garbage time.
Yep.
As always, you could check us out on Twitter at PigGlassPod. Over on Podbean, if you're listening to this and want to listen to it somewhere else, I guess.
It's Google Play, and then we're probably on other sites too.
Same thing with Movie Mayhem. I don't know if you've noticed, I link Movie Mayhem in the description.
That.
So
Thank you very much.
When you're listening, you can just click it there and listen to Movie Mayhem. And you can find me on Twitter at Park6Core. Brian?
You can find me at Movie Mayhem Pod, also on Instagram at Movie Mayhem Pod and podcast, and you can check us out on Sunday. We are doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Ooh, which one?
I don't know yet.
Ooh, can I put in a request?
Go ahead.
I think you should watch Twins.
And let me be on the episode.
I love Danny DeVito. No, I was thinking
Twins is the story of me and Matt Taylor.
No, it's not.
No, I love. Again, this is not going to make sense to anyone else, but you know Gabe at the Towers.
Yeah.
And you know Keeman.
Mm-hmm. No.
You don't know
The
Keeman,
handyman.
the Indian dude. Like he was in my building. All right. Well, picture like a 4.5 foot like Indian dude who's like a handyman.
Yeah.
And now picture Gabriel. Now picture Gabriel as Keeman's assistant. That's fucking twins.
You know, it's funny. I work with Keeman a lot too when it comes to three. So
Keeman's cool.
What's Keeman's first name?
Keeman.
What's his last name?
Baldeo. He's Ram's son.
Okay, then no, I don't.
They listen to the show. Shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to Keeman and Ram.
I know Ram.
Keeman and Ram.
Ram's going to the Super Bowl.
I remember Ram.
Ram's riding the Rams.
All right, so that's going to do it for us
where's
this
Mikey?
week.
Where you can be found?
Oh, yeah, thank you,
cares?
Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at dquats and Instagram at mdquat and on Etsy at tfactors. So holla at your boy if you're getting married. Or if you just want a dope fantasy football shirt.
There you go. Show him your TVs, because I remember that shirt on your site.
Yep. Big seller.
Big seller. So as always...
First round craft pick.
Ooh.
Spelled craft like the macaroni and cheese.
For that big audience of craftsmen and fantasy football players.
Gotta do something while my team's playing.
So, we'll see you guys next week. Hit us
First
up on
round
Twitter.
sleeper.
Let us know what predictions you have for games of the week. Any predictions, any fantasy advice, because Lord knows I need it.
And check out Andrew on that Twitch. I think he said the Bullhammer.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on Twitch. I'm not really following a schedule or anything. Twitch.tv/Bullhammer, Twitch.tv/dquat.
Yep.
You're like Dequat on something, Dequats on the other.
Yeah, because some fucking loser, fucking no name nobody has fucking Dequat on Instagram and has it on fucking Twitter too. Fuck you, Tom. Fuck you.
It's still going.